อยากให้ไฟแดงนานกว่านี้เนาะ
ระดับหนึ่งเลยแหละการแข่งขันระดับ
บูมใจได้ค่ายมาไล่ให้หมด
สำหรับผู้ชมที่ชมอยู่ตอนนี้นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กด Subscribe Channel ให้ด้วยนะครับและติดตามการสตรีมของผมได้ที่ sooflight.com ครับลิงก์อยู่ด้านล่างครับ
Looking after that, you did see a head, so it's a lot of information for DFM. Pretty soon they're going to be able to recollect themselves and push into a site.
Yeah, but these thorns at the front of the site, Patman going to call for them to be popped at the moment to stave off any immediate aggression and by timing for the dark cover, but a very large rotation from PRX to this A site is going to be what waits DFM if they did opt to go in towards the site. So thinking better of it, reset, wait a bit of time for their util to get back online. And they can go out pretty nicely as well. Salvo's Haunt sees.
Whoa. Something. Thinking about pushing up Catwalk.
It'd be some great initiative if they actually went towards top middle and wrapped, because you don't see the proper sentinel being ran by DFM here, but with 30 seconds and that dark cover back down, they kind of have to call it. They have to go.
And you do have Patman playing for anti-flash. DFM does check into it, but something arrives on the scene. Double kill found. Forsaken picking a target for himself. Jing as well. PRX happily moves forward.
Yep, Patman just the casualty for PRX there. You know, the right idea to rotate towards the A site, and then it doesn't take all the analysis in the world to just kind of say, hey, they hit their shots and DFM took too long to establish any advantage.
Yeah, not too much. On the macro side, though, I mean, taking the initiative that way, that was pretty lovely.
I mean, what have we seen be a big weakness of PRX's? It's not getting good ideas on the rounds, not formulating a great idea of how the macro is happening, right? It was kickoff that we started to see. Maybe it's starting to look okay. Here in towards stage one, though, a lot of shambles still. Maps, for sure, each series, but no series victories just yet. So this has got to be the one where they turn it around. One team, you know, technically could go 0-5 in this one if you think about it. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, so far so good. Don't fret, Boba Fett. You got Jing, who's able to nail his shots with the Guardian and Divide to walk down Tree. So not too bad. Flawless round for PRX.
Yep, hitting shots. Want to see all 10 players in the server be very sharp today. You know, we kind of did see that at the beginning of their last series, right? Everybody was trying to get activated, trying to hit a lot of their shots. It came down to good rotations and some individual moments of brilliance. You know, I don't really see a world in which we don't get that here as well, right? I expect to see some big moments from both of these teams.
And with the Ghost on one side as well, could be a potential round 3 op, but not going to go for that just yet. Sticking on the light shields, okay.
And I was waiting to see the staple of art to be coming on out as well. The Odin is here.
Lo and behold.
On the attacking side, by the way.
Triple innie. A lot of contact already around A main, so...
Boy,
for now.
Up the guts of mid.
Boy, careful
here. That's a lovely setup. Prowler found as well. In for the shots. Just a little bit of damage.
Yep, can't quite finish off your prey, unfortunately. And at the cost of a bit of util, you will force them back for the time being. Meanwhile, if you hadn't caught it just yet, a lot of this Vice util from Divide. Over at this B site, one Thorn at the front of A that'll start to get sniffed out by Art's stealth drone. But importantly, the sheer wall that is just keeping a good amount of comfortability for Divide in B main.
Does have the Arc Rose set up as well, but currently got to watch out for Market.
Well, the Judge or the Odin. Who bites the bullet first?
It's gonna be something. That range, that weapon, no chance.
And now you've lost A main control as well, so it's a little bit more one-dimensional for DFM. Quack! Oh, only good for fun though.
Not too bad. Still does hold down the space, but in for DFM to attempt at pushing onto a different position. Can Jing hold it? It's not quite going to happen.
Ding.
PRX now trying to flood back in, but... Okay, just trying to pick some targets down. Jin a little bit lost, but the spike gets delivered nonetheless.
Yeah, but with 10 seconds to go as it does get planted, there's a Kame caught out with util.
Yeah, wanted to shut the door down, but nope. No chance. Pop flashed in over, and Jin booked to react. Still a 1-on-2. He knows where his opponents are, so able to isolate the duels. Now just a 1-on-1. Somewhat low HP on both sides. Forsaken, though, just crouching down, but he doesn't land the shot.
Wide swing out from Jinbong.
Uncharacteristic on the side of PRX, but a great clutch for DFM.
Unfortunate for Forsaken that they're not able to get that one. You know, it sometimes is always awkward when you try to do the tracking on the long distance game on that one. Still, that was technically, for a moment in time, a 3 versus 5 advantage for PaperX in that round, and a 2 versus 3 that they had to really just contend with on the reverse when the plant goes down for DFM. It's great shots out from Jinbung, able to take 1 versus 1s to catch the Red Bull clutch at the end.
Next round now, and it's also DFM just trying to keep up the pace, trying to trip any potential shear walls inside of B main. Currently not found. Drone's out.
Yep, and that drone can get in front of the Thorns as well, so not instantly destroyed. Meanwhile, you got big rotations from PaperX over to the site now. Oh, the beat! Oh, Jinbung!
Lovely shot. Quick on the find. You don't expect it because you're in the Prowler.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate how close he got to that big pillar, and just has the body spotted out by something.
Then to be aware of for the next rounds, but still a bit of information, not too bad for May to try dismantle the setup. It does buy the smokes back in from Jing.
Big
risk from GN there, but able to find the kill. Makes it a little bit more.
Can't find safe passage though.
Yeah, there was a gap for the moment in this 4 versus 4, so the defenders starting to rotate a little bit around as PaperX, making sure they've got an idea on where they still are around the map, but with 30 seconds to go, mid, and that's going to put a bit of pressure on Forsaken here. Close enough towards getting the point to be a little bit self-sufficient, but will need to ask for Devise Arcros at some point.
There it goes. It certainly will be enough information. Can he find his mark though? The flash being sent out by his teammate. He hears the drop, runs in, finds May, but traded instantly. 8 seconds left, and Akame begins to push up. The spike now planted, and PaperX, as they try to ascend, they're not going to be able to do just that.
That's a case of Akame go kill right there. Not bad from him to get 3 to equalize us back up on a situation where it could have been turned upside down from Forsaken in the dark cover, pulling out utility at the wrong time when there is a little bit of a trade to come out from the DFM guys, who are starting to make a couple of these rounds go quite close on the clock. So you need to see that, you know, going forward here, give themselves enough breathing room, which they technically do in this scenario. Who get very aggressive in B main.
Little buys, the sheriffs and everything, and they do take down Art.
Yep. Storm pops from something here as well. Eventually you might see a world in which they push to try and get that gun. If they know that DFM are leaning towards the A site heavily, because I don't think it's been thrown out of the map just yet. I want to try and retain the Odin, you would expect.
They've been pretty good at throwing PaperX off their scent so far, especially from that previous round. Right now, though, revealing a little bit more towards B main. The question is, can PaperX hold it?
Yeah, well, you say throwing them off their scent right now. They're a little bit blocked.
And they will just explode out of the smokes. Jinbung able to take down Forsaken. Now May finding a shot through to market as the door shuts down. GN taking down the next one as well.
เห็นด้วยนะไปเล็ก0-4เห็นด้วยนะโบนัสลาว 3-1 แม่งแพ้ไอ้เหี้ย
Now something does get to pull the blades right back out, takes down his oppressor. But you've got 3 more tangos to hit. He does float upwards, finds the next, Jing in for the other, and something to nail it all down.
แล้วลุกเลยsomething ลุกเลย
Definitely want to see PaperX get elevated on the back of that one. Get excited, get something spicy in the mix, get behind the team, make sure that everything is well coordinated, and I think that's the name of the game at the end there for something, and for Jing, well coordinated for Jing not to overpeak when he can let something start to jump around, play with the blades. They were staved off for a little bit, right? The first kill is there. There's a reset time in the round from DFM, who start to get in towards this B site. Some good shots starting to come out from them, but Akame, untradeable. May, untradeable. And then you've got the nice timing, as I said, from Jing, and then GN, well, he's just in that 1 versus 2, and he can't get any swift headshot on towards something either there. So a well-played round. Individually, you think they're from something as a big pivotal component.
This time, though, May's got blades of his own, but something.
Oh, that hurts.
Inspired combo play out towards tiles now, but then the quick hit from DFM into the A site.
And if you want to go for a bit of a retake as PaperX, you can here, because Forsaken has the Nightfall available. Meanwhile, GN Cosmic Divide when the plant goes down if they need.
Just trying to get into good enough position to send it over. There it is. Pop flash out. Akami trying to buy as much time as possible as well. Something waiting for the coordinated push to go through, but you also have the Teo utility. Jing will sidestep it, pushes on in, and the waterfall will be complete. Paper Rex, a successful sweeping retake against DFM.
DFM don't have their floaties ready to be able to float above water there, unfortunately. 4 members surviving from Paper Rex in that one. A good coordinated retake as well. Pretty rapid to have all of the members there.
That's kind of name of the game on Ascent as well.
เฮ้ยลำสตรีมที่ไหนอะ
And a little bit tricky to even
ถ้าสเปรย์ต้อง
maneuver across the map.
Ooh, jing,
Paper Rex are pushing out
พี่หลุด
against
นี่
you.
คือได้
It's
ทั้ง
a
แถบ
little
ทั้งสเปรย์
bit tricky
ได้เลยครับ
to
Yeah, I mean, we've seen something that
ไอ้ลำสตรีมที่ไหนอะ
around, always pushing out
ต่อได้เลย
We've always got a little bit of this mid.
เฮ้ยอยู่ดูดิลำสตรีมที่ไหนไม่รู้
So if you're falling back onto the fundamentals, smoking bottom mid, trying to recon down where you're not running the Sova, for example, on the side of DFM, so you might look to see them try to use some of the fade utility, some of the Teo utility, for example, to formulate an idea on where they are
ตอน
properly.
แรกมันสีมันดำๆ
Because you need to see DFM to set themselves up a nice advantage in the early
อันนี้
stages.
บอกแม่จังนะ
ใช่ครับบอกแม่พี่จังว่าโยกมาชั้น
at
2
least
แบ
for
บ
this round.
เพราะว่า
That's
เหมือน
gonna be a
ข้าง
little
ล่าง
ตาผม
current
มาเล่นแค่ 2 วันพี่วันนี้กับ
But
เมื่อ
also
วาน
just to
ครับ
add lovely art
เดี๋ยวก็ยกลงเหรอเนี่ย
ลงไปครับผมครับผม
โง่ไอ้เยนิบาดีว่ะยกขึ้นยกลง
เน็ตเป็นไรไม่รู้วันนี้กับเมื่อวานไม่ค่อยดีอะ
Not so lovely so
วัน
far
ก่อน
in the
ยังได้
server,
เลย
unfortunately.
เมื่อ2 วันก่อน
The art.
มีกันบ้างครับมีกันบ้าง
player.
อย่าเสียงดัง
Right
อะ
on the nose there, Komodo, but
ครับ
we'll
พี่
see
เดี๋ยวโดน
how
เตือน
this
นะ
round gets piloted.
เดี๋ยวห้อง
DFM
ข้างๆเตือนน่าเป็น
currently trying to form
ก๊อป
good
พี่
control, but
อ๋อไอบอลกับพี่พี
ไอบอล
do have a bit of mid presence coming out from Paper Rex around
ครับผมไรสื่อ
him.
ฮะ
He's short.
They have
Bit of
forced
a
them off
fight
the
away.
mid line, technically, right? So you've got some great ground control there,
แสงดี
but you need to look to start to
ไม่ต้องกลับ
pivot
นะครับ
that
บ้าง
into something
ไม่ต้องกลับข้างล่างแล้วมั้
successful,
ง
in towards the B
กลับ
side
ครับ
where
พี่
you've not been
ไม่กลับมัน
successful
ไม่มี
of
อะไรทำเลย
tripping
ครับ
out
พี่
the sheer wall so
สอง
far,
วัน
right?
ตอนนี้
He
2
didn't
วันแล้ว
even jump in front of it as art that time. He's just
ไม่ได้
missed
เลย
the
ครับพี่
shield spot,
Yikes.
ตายแล้ว
and
ครับ
then is heard
ไม่ได้ด้วย
and
ครับ
is
สงกราร
deleted.
ไม่อยู่ด้วย
Yeah, I know that tone. Whenever you get that way, Komodo, someone must have messed up crucially. And this time it was Art. Good punish from something, but you do have Akami slipping through. Jinpung in towards a short as well. Paper X trying to recollect themselves. The pop flash from Petman will allow them to regather. Akame though striking right back in. Jing at least will be able to hold down a main, which allows him to then pivot back into sight around the smokes. Bit of a survival one. He spots out the barrel and goes in for the simple burst. A round picked up by Paper X once again.
Oh, that could have been awkward with all those trades and little shots through the corner of the wall, corner of the tree that DFM start to get there. That could have gone the other way. If Jing loses that one-on-one engagement, it does not work out
คู่
well.
นี้แม่งไม่หาเท่าคู่ที่แล้วอ่ะเต็งว่ะ
That's one of the other things
เก็บ
as
ไว้
well.
ยู
Just
ปลานะ
allowing him to have that autonomy to go for these
ไป
plays.
แล้ว
Starting to look like the Jing of old, even though he's
น่า
not
จะ
a
เอา
different
ตัว
agent.
ลังเลใจอยู่
Put away this operator as well.
เอาดาบ
Something, if he's able to
Well, they're not
hold
gonna
lines
have
free of
that.
charge, it could be good. Trap
right.
plays around the A main choke though. And DFM will win that successfully. If they want to continue towards this A side though, yeah, it's going to be that operator for something.
อุ้ยอ้าวแล้วขึ้นมาเลย
Did Paper Rex
They don't
get the
have the
information
ball.
though?
I mean, Art does have the Armageddon and GN does have the Cosmic Divide.
Ooh, and they have suppressed something. This could keep him flushed in, but they elect to rotate back.
Yep, one scanny boy, and that's just going to send you away. Eventually, this Nebula will fade.
Couple of investigative shots and Paper X scrounge back in towards Cubby. They do have a lovely setup here. If it does come down into it, the C's will snag onto a couple players.
Just don't want to see them overheat.
Continues
here
to
at the
peek on
moment.
through, and there it is. Forsaken will cool them off with a couple of
เจอทีม
bullets.
ที่ได้ 4
Patman
แล้
as
วครับ
well, and that's the spike down on
คุ
the
ณได้เลข
ground.
4
Something spots out May.
ตามหลังชื่อ
Jinpung all of a sudden singing an aria of sorrow. His teammates have fallen all around him.
ทำไม
Yeah, I was
ฮะ
gonna say you just don't want to see ill timing at the moment from DFM because they didn't have a good
ใช่
amount of information on how many players were up at that short angle, right? Just dry swinging into it on the back of getting seized, and it looks too clinical from PRX to just give the free haircuts.
เฮ้ยทำไม
Shape and a haircut.
หายตัว
So you look at this one back here, and Art and GN, they're not even swinging together. It's just one at a time, and then it's Patman's time to go in. I mentioned the operator earlier in the round, where if you're just enabling something to point and click at a single angle, and the team is watching all the other angles that your opponents could possibly come from, more often than not, he's going to be good for it.
ค่อนข้างขาดโอ้โหดูอาร์ตดิหือ
PRX continues
ไอ้เหี้ย
to
อาร์ต
string
ปืน
more
โต
rounds
ไอ้
together.
สัต
This
ว์
time though, full ultimates.
เฮ้ยหาใครเมย์หาใคร
Zero point from Patman.
มึงหาใครก่อน
The rush continues.
If you're going to invest in Null Command here as well,
Ui,
you're going
nó
to see
mồm
a
không
little
mà
bit
lười.
of fall on back from Devi
Đứa
to
nên
make sure
dư thì
that
khá
the
khảnh
utility
đấy.
is still
Cái tin.
available.
ของน้อยจัง
Now he's actually going to get caught in the mix, so the plant can look to go down for DFM. And you'd expect Patman to rip his on the return.
Cosmic Divide in front of PRX as well. So at least setting up for the retake now, but you gotta work around this obstacle, this purple obstacle. Ooh, Armageddon just buys even more time.
Yeah, and there's the Null Command for Patman as well, so
โอ้โห
PRX
แพ
are
ท
all
ยัง
in.
ได้
You gotta
แล้ว
keep
มึงจะไปเล่น
going.
ทำไมวะ
Patman
ไอ้
so far
จี
so
เย็นเหีย
good.
อะไรเนี่ยก็
Pop
เขา
flash
หนี
off
อัน
towards
ติ
the
เพื่อน
side,
มึง
and
อยู่
with the
ไง
bullets being fired over, they know where he is. It's
โอ้
gonna
ไม่
be a
เล่น
bit
ไม่
of a
เป็นเลย
trade.
ไอ้
Now
จีเย็น
Divide
น่ะ
finding May as well. Jing will expire unfortunately, but down towards Art. Stuck inside of one. He's trying to keep himself inside the cellar. The salvo's doing a bit of work, but
จีเย็น
Divide
นะฮะ
capitalizing at the very end.
Yeah, just the numbers
GN
game again there for PRX, right?
GG.
Before, and then when the plant was essentially being established, Patman is able to find one kill, ripping in the Null Command, and then the team kind of just goes together as a unit, right? Flash drives on in, everybody's starting to flood in towards the site. Here's that first kill, by the way, onto GN. And then it's just pretty, you know, how you doing from him? Crosshair placement, good positions. Art trying to do something there with the one kill and the salvos, but the spike was already half defused and he was in an essential 1 versus 4.
ไม่รอเล่นโบสแพนน่ะเดินไปเล่น
Pretty
เฉย
difficult to come
ทั้
away
ง
with
ที่
a
เพื่อนเขาอัน
situation
ติอยู่อะ
like that.
ยังไงฝั่งนั้นก็ต้อง
Remember,
เบรก
there
ปะ
was a
ไม่ได้เล่น
timeout already
เดิน
invested
ไปเล่นเฉ
for
ย
DFM, and that has not converted
จีเย็น
your gun rounds afterward.
Certainly not. Would have imagined that's what that timeout was
โคตรพลาด
for,
อะ
but PRX being able to receive them kindly.
And yeah,
Ooh. Arc Rose peak.
โอ้โหระ
Divide
บายโอ้โห
takes down May.
เป่านี่แบบ
yeah, once upon a time,
คุมไม่อยู่
May,
แล้วอะ
the player that you always look towards on DFM's side,
กระสุนแม่งเด้งกลับเข้าหัวเชื่อ
fallen down a little bit
Oh,
of this round.
dear,
The
dear,
counter jet in something, gonna miss a shot, but remember, there is still the lead for PRX throughout all these trades.
Until it gets somewhat equalized, then trade right back. PRX still retaining control and information over the map, but DFM will re-aggress once again.
Jing does have from the shadows to get to the back of this site if needed, which actually he just rips right there, so normal things he's doing. It's going to cancel it, as the dark cover will hold some timing for something right now. Got to also state that GN gone means that something can have a bit of a strong line here from the spawn location.
Trying to work the numbers. Something though
เขา
will find the
โอ้
first
ย
shot.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Second
มิสเตอร์
one
แฟน
not
ตา
quite
สติก
there, which allows DFM to truly get
Mr.
into sight. But
Fantastic.
because the door's not shut, they're still trying to err on the side of caution.
Yep, Haunt's available too. If that's allowed to scan something, it's huge here. Denied.
พี
Quick.
คู่พีคู่
Jinbo now to hold down the sight lines, and he's gonna do the
ไม่
double.
พีคู่
A
วะ
twofer
เจ
on
สั
the
น
side
จั
of
งไม่
DFM, and they will pick themselves up the
ทำไม
third
มัน
round.
แย่ได้ข
Yeah,
นาด
there was
นี้
a
วะ
little bit of hungriness from PRX in that one surrounding that
เจ
B
สันมันยัง
side
ไม่
too
ควัก
as well,
ปืน
right?
เลย
When
แบบ
Divide
ยัง
goes
ยัง
into
ไม่ขึ้น
the
ลำกล้องเลย
to be able to get this first kill here, which I thought he might actually die because he maybe a
เข้า
second
ใจ
guess
อเล็กนะ
himself, and then some A main pushing, more pushing in towards B main, and then something wanting to get re-aggressive back on that operator line in a 3 versus 2 advantage there. So these are the things that you do start to look to believe it's the agent that he's played the most of, but the way that he plays it and the way that he always communicates to the team exactly what util he wants to use and the timing on it to peak on the back of it, he's always been so quick on this initiative roll.
10 assists now.
Yeah, up on the 10 assists. I mean, sometimes it is easy enough to get them on the back of the 0 points, but it's the flashes that are working a treat for him in this map. Now the last round of the half, and you definitely need to see this one salvaged by DFM, unless you're a superstitious person for the 9-3 curse. Operator again going to miss its mark, but look at this, May! In for 2!
Talking
Jason,
about the setups, it's
คือมันไม่เห็น
Akami
มึง
this
แน่
time.
ๆน้อง
He's got the
มึง
blade
เนียน
storm
เก๊ะ
May, trying to
เฮ้ย
elevate himself in towards the B side possibly.
ขยับ
Watch out for the back. Arc Rose out from Divide finds some information.
ให้มันเป็นลูกตัว M
Just confirms it really. But for May to swipe right on by, right clicks in, something looking for the angle. Will find a little bit more. May now, once again, being a huge obstacle against PRX. Something slow HP as well. This pretty much would be a
น้องๆเขาหนักกัน
4-8.
เกิน
Unless a magical rabbit is pulled out of the hat right now. Not possible.
Nope, just a magical May.
So trying to turn a lot of these situations around now. We'll see how the pistol round shakes up.
Yep.
PRX grouped up together in towards the A site. Salvos to counter back.
Ill timing spotted, by the way, so no C's connection to be able to keep them contained in the rockets.
Which allows for PRX to then stagger themselves forward.
Jinbong
pinned down. Smoked off though, so PRX now flooding over. Allows for Jinbong to find a bit of a trade.
Oi!
Again. Oh, huge
Oi!
out from Dive.
เหี้ยพิมมี่ญี่ปุ่น
Triple what? Divide tries to mine. It's just not
เจอ
gonna
แล้ว
happen because Art
เจอพิมมี่
and the
ญี่
rest of
ปุ่น
DFM have already arrived.
That's pretty pivotal from GN. I'm not gonna
Me
lie. We
Japan
need to
ni
see this player
China.
really step up. Who's having, you know, lackluster performance or
GN.
lackluster performance. Some moments here and there. But that one, that's sharp from him to come out with the ghost. You know, not scared, playing around the site. That is really good.
Finds his timing off the little trade from Jinbong. So not too much from the side of PRX for now, but taking things slow and easy.
ปรับตรงไหนอ่ะ
Something onto, well, Divide onto the Sheriff.
See
ปรับ
what
ตรงที่ไอ้จริงก่อนเลย
this round does look like for DFM.
โลแม่งน้อยไป
Be of the flawless variety for them.
แม่งมั่วไป
One of the
ไป
biggest
คอนโทรลเลอร์
things
แล้ว
as
นะ
well in this triple initiator comp is just going to be the amount of information that they can layer in little by little.
Or the utility that,
เหี้ยโดน
that they
จี
can
เย็
really
นว่ะ
send
ไอ้
over
สัตว์
as
จีเย็นโห
well.
ดจัดเลยว่ะ
But means less traps, so PRX maybe trying to navigate around that or to
Well, then
figure out
again,
the setups.
You know, devise setups as well, whilst a little bit impactful, were often not contended with by DFM.
That is true, but for now, just looking for the firefight around the middle. PRX happy to give it to him.
Yep.
Nothing too much found. Just everything collected and racked up by DFM.
Yeah, so choosing to go on this Sentinel-less comp again, you know, as long as they're pretty heads up and they can play around sites, right? GN's going to be able to potentially even be a pseudo-senti if you think
มันก็
about
ไม่ได้
it.
หมดเขาต้องไป
Jinbong's going to try his
มัน
damnedest
อาจจะ
with
ต้องกลับไปเป็น
C's
ดูลิท
if he
ที่
doesn't go for the
โล
trap
มาก
plays
ขึ้น
with Art.
เล่นได้มากขึ้น
In towards the bonus rounds next, and we're going to see with the 5 players that DFM just
อันนี้
started
มัน
with,
ไม่พอ
many of the weapons are going to be of good value against the
คือคอน
PRX
โทรลเลอร์มันไม่ได้ธรรม
have
ชาติ
2
มัน
players down with the lighter shield
ให้
still.
ตายกดแรงไงมันก็ต้องกดด้วยลิทไอ้จริงอ่ะ
And they're going to be more structured towards the B
มันต้องฝึก
side, start
พี่เว้ย
something off. Held at bay by the salvos for the cost of a prowler.
Arrow point towards the middle as well. Okay.
Did that get enough information too that the Shia is at the edge of the B main side of things? I'm not 100% sure, but you do lose the complete control of B main as DFM. And it is their bonus round as well, so starting to shift a little bit of positions, gain a little bit of further information around the map. How deep have PRX potentially got through mid? Well, not really at all. They're going to shift their focus over towards the A side of things now.
The mid smoke though, yes, could inform
เอ้ย
DFM.
ควันมาควันมา
So GN will conceal himself
GN
inside the smoke, avoids the prowler as
GN
well.
แม่งเอาอีก
PRX
แล้ว
might not know this,
GN
which
แม่ง
could
เอา
be
แล้ว
huge.
GN
Kame at least now to hold
GN
off
ครั
towards
บ
the other
โอ้
way
หนึ่ง
side.
โอ้
Then
เคอา
for
กาเม
PRX to swing out, they're getting
ชิบหาย
punished
แล้ว
for
ครั
it
บ
too.
Yeah, and
ชิบ
Forsaken
หายแล้ว
also say 21 HP
เบาๆเบาๆเม
down
ย์
with the
เบาๆเม
muzzle
ย์
shot.
เบย์ไม่ต้องรีบ
Slide down on the ground.
ชนะแล้ว
Just
ไม่ต้อง
Jin
รีบชนะ
not quite
แล้
able
ว
to
ครับ
retrieve and allows
ไม่
for
เป็นเล็ก
Akame to put
เจ
that
อ
final
3 อินิ
nail
เชียเต
in.
อร์บายโดนจะ
Yeah,
หยุด
really early read from DFM on what PRX actually want to do. Happy enough to give them control of B main and then getting some information up the guts of mid to ensure that PRX aren't exactly there. When they start to rotate over towards the A site, you've already got some information, right? Because the dark cover was put down. You've got that info that you can commune. You've got the site already rotated towards, and then it's just a sheer strength in numbers for DFM. They almost had 3 players available for every single fight there. That's going to be the bonus round converted too, by the way.
Once again, finding PRX in somewhat of a dire situation.
Yeah. 0 Point going to remove some of these abilities, but most importantly, you've stopped PRX from getting straight away into the A side to buy some time for some rotations.
เกมแม่งส่งมันเว้ย
You've got Art now closer that can use the salvos
Also for
too.
Jian
Late.
to hide inside of this nebula, but he will get caught out by Forsaken. A slight
oh,
opportunity
oh,
for
doing that
Forsaken
lane,
to
doing
convert
that
things
lane.
around. Nightfall sent in,
Doing
but
that
close
lane.
range, and Art
Doing
will
that lane.
decimate with the Odin. Jing now
one
swinging
on one
out,
ครับ
but to
one
no
on one
avail.
ดาไว
1v1,
ดา
Divine
ไว
with just the stinger.
ล็อก
Looks to
ขา
get the spike
ล็อกขา
planted.
ไม่ใช้ครับ
Jinbum
เดินลงมา
popped
งัด
over,
เลยโดนแฟด
concealed, stunned and flashed up as well.
ลงแรง
The C's not quite hitting the way that he wanted it to, and Divine will redeem
ไอ้จิน
himself
อะไรนี่แม่ง
with the stinger.
จินแม่งโคตรบ้งอ่ะ แม่งบ้ง
PRX
จัดอ่ะ
finding some rounds in the second half.
Yeah, I thought DFM might actually
Hey!
be able to down when they had their numbers rotated on over and they've got a lot of this utility that you can kind of lock them in, right? But around all of these smokes, PRX able to just stinger them, trade them on down, getting dirty in towards it. May, that one's a little bit ambitious to just sacrifice your body and
ถ้า
jump
มัน
in
ใช้
towards the
ล็อก
site.
ขาตอนที่ดาไววางนะบอกเลยแล้วก็โดดขึ้นข้างบน
Forcing
จ
him
บ
towards the site that Art was going to rip out the salvos for the team around the normal,
จบเลยอะ
anywhere around the site for your team to dance around. But no, not able to come out with that one. And now fresh round, and May is just by himself, really far ahead, but some
เซ
great
ตอัพดี
assisted
จริงคุยคน
utility
ใช้เยอะแล้ว
from Jinbum is getting another kill, forced away. Gien, good for
เกือบ
one.
ตายเฮีย
But now you got a plant to come out from PRX, a player deficit as well.
Now command available, something to lurk. DFM looking quite aware as well. The C's to buy some time as Art gets suppressed down over by
ดู
Heaven.
ทัมมิ่งอะ
Null command ripped. And something now with the lurk finally springs out. Coming back in to assist his teammates around the site. PRX looking to shut down any entry from Tree.
ปืน
And
ในอาร์ตแม่ง
something
มึง
will end it.
มึงซื้อ
Another
มามึง
essential
ฆ่า
one
ใคร
versus
ยัง
one
วะ
at the
อาร์ต
end there
ฮะ
for the PRX squad who do come out on top of that one. I do like the
โอ้
play
ย
from
พอเหอะ
DFM.
อาร์ตเอ้ย
Aggressive
ลำบาก
in
การ
towards
เงิน
the
เพื่อน
B-base
เว้ย
side, catching PRX off guard. They just did not expect that one to be super quick. Divide caught out, but as quick as what happened over at the B side happened, back towards the A side, and PRX are just in towards it, and able to get the spike plant down, look to try and establish some solid post plants, even recognizing a flank potential to
อาร์ต
come out as
เกาะ
well there.
อาร์ตล้วนแล้ว
Items in the round that they're looking pretty good on.
อาร์ตไปแล้วครับ
But down to the execution at the end.
Yeah.
PRX one step ahead. We'll see though. You never quite know with this team, kind of like what Big Time was saying.
That's it, isn't it? You never quite know for PRX
แล้ว
if this will be the last round
ยิ่งดู
potentially in
ยิ่
the
งหา
map.
ว่ะอาร์ต
But a comeback happens.
At least for now, they're still trying to conceal as much as possible. Smokes, flashes to.
The problem is though, May is on the line. Do they use a Prowler from Forsaken to push him off, or Jing a Paranoia? I think it might be the latter with where Jing is playing from, but it's just going to be him setting up the smokes, and they do indeed use the Prowler with the Archros.
And that is going to be
ไอ้เหี้ยนั่นใครวะ
signal.
Is
ยิ
it
งหมาไม่
though?
โดน
Slow down, yes.
Good timing on the Nebula from GN. Locks them out a little bit. No ulti grabbed, or rather there is an ulti grab. Defy with the Steel Garden.
Okay. That will be the true go signal. Paranoia out from Jing as well, but
But locked out again.
once again, yes, Art with the salvos, crucially timed.
30 seconds, and you've got to make a call for PRX. It's going to be to rotate into a site that you don't know the number of players that are going to be there.
มึงไหว
That
ไหม
you
เนี่ย
don't know what
ไม่ไหว
exact
นะเนี่ย
utility
มึงไม่
is
ไฟ
still
วะ
available.
A little bit rudderless,
เดี๋ยวที่จะแฟ
looking
ด
for
เอ
the
อแฟดโดนกันเอง
direction, but it's going to be more
ดี
direction
ได้
for
ชนะ
DFM as Akami springs out with pop flash. Jian now to hold the off angle. Jing finds some space. 10 seconds left for
ปิดประตูดิเจน
and the two players hold it down.
Jinbun has 2 Prowlers to use.
It comes down to crucial positioning as well as the marksmanship. Jing smokes off Heaven
เออ
and tries to
แม่งไม่ปิดประตูอะเวลาก็จะหมดอยู่แล้ว
into the smoke, but May close range will quickly dispatch of his opponent. Divine now to hold, but low HP, tries to sidestep, tries to set up a flash, pulling out utility, but it doesn't work out. May in with the short to bring the round out for DFM.
Yeah, Divide already tagged up in the duels, unfortunately. Info communed over, and that is going to be a successful retake to come through from DFM. I mean, PRX, they were locked out so much of that B site, choked to try and get in towards the site. Well done from DFM there, and just multi-fragging up from Akame too, and the rest of the team settling down, not overcomplicating things, going in towards the retake. These are the moments in the map, you know, that can cause a little bit of frazzle for PRX. So they do have to make sure that doesn't phase them too hard. They don't get too risky in the next gun round, more importantly, because this round here, party mix of a buy.
We'll see.
เฮ้ยอาร์ตเอาอีกแล้วอาร์ตดิ
Kind of has to, doesn't
กู
he?
ตบจริงๆนะมาทีมกูอะ
Have another one of these big rounds that May had, for example, over on the flip side that he's already had in the server as
เอา
well.
แล้วใครดูให้อ่ะจินบง
An instant
จินบงว่าใครดูกลางอ่ะ
off to the other end.
อะไร
Wins the duel.
But no command in, removing those
มาแล้วอาร์ตบอกมาแล้วมา
So
มาแล้ว
trudge forward. Defy finding the stinger spray now. Jien alongside Akame, you don't have the numbers.
Yeah, do you consider a save here? Your money is kind of on the precipice of needing it for the remainder of the map, it would feel.
But they look for more space, and that's when Petman fills in. Pop flash out, and it kind of confirms as well, but Akame sidesteps into the smoke, in and out, for Defy to finally knock them down into the ground.
PRX, they answer back with an almost thrifty round, right? Not the most sensational buy to come in towards that one there, but they are able to make it work on the back of something with the blades yet again. And who is on the assistive mark? I will add Quack. A good flash from Batman. Again, making sure he's trying to assist for the team. Love to see that one. 11 found for PRX.
Yeah, slight unsung hero for the dinosaur squad, shall we say, but still.
I miss Benkai's walkouts. The true dinosaur.
Quite a long time ago, but we'll see. The next round coming up, May trying to get aggressive as well. Clears out a lot of A main.
Immediate rotations from DFM to this B side, however, trying to play dirty with the judge, but something.
Playing inside of the smokes, Jien with the judge, the double kill. Sends PRX to slight extinction. We'll see if Jing will be able to recover.
Oh, that's risky.
Full Strata steps in blindly, dryly, and it's going to be Art to gun him down. Just Petman left.
Yeah.
And not quite safe for him to cross either. He's going to have to...
Should be
work his way around it.
Impossible.
Minute left, so it's a lot of time as well. The salvage just pretty much digs his grave for him. He will still swing out to isolate a couple more duels. Nope! Down to the final swing from Jinbong.
เรานั้น
If he
ชนะเหรอ
found the right angle, maybe could have found May in another one versus one, but we're not in that universe right now. Great work from DFM. Art to start off technically in the kill feed onto
สวยอาร์ต
so
เฮ้ยเฮียกลับมา
looking
เห็นได้
after
อาร์ต
that mid gap that you did leave open. That I gotta say from Jing as well. Like while I expect, I get that you're in 2 versus 4. You want to try and find some timing and a gap back in towards the round. That's not the one that you try to look for.
Whoa! Double Odin?
How do you fancy Jinbong's Odin?
I don't know.
Or
I
rather
don't
May.
see it too often, but May once again
Oh, you
with
got
the
him.
A main
เฮีย
pressure.
แม่งทำได้ต
I
ลอ
like
ดว่ะ
Jinbong's haunts better.
เข้าไปในควัน
That's the second time that he's found a successful one.
Couldn't agree more. PRX though not slowing down. Truly W game.
Jen.
Pushes in into
Jen,
the B
Jen,
side.
Pimmy.
Armageddon will slow them down though.
Oh.
Something looking a little bit lost. Petman will continue to
Ooh,
push
Pat.
up front. Finds a double kill.
Ooh, Pat.
Towards the next, and he
Oh.
takes May down. A lot more space and timing.
Oh,
now.
Pimmy,
Just to hold the
J-Pan.
angle.
Yeah, GN, sensational work to come out from him. They're finding some good timing at the stairs as well onto something when he got
Yeah,
into
I'm out
the
here.
market, just
ไอ้อาร์ต
looking for something on that round, and now
มึงยังไม่เลิกใช่ไหม
starting to knock on the door of a tied scoreline, aren't we? Jing getting caught out by the horn. And then everyone trying to just
ดูดิ
get into this
ดู
big
มันทำดิ
site.
อ่ะ
You're
มันได้
starting to
สัก
see
คิวไหมเนี่ย
Batman really step up in a round such as that, showing he's also mechanical ability. But GN stepping up when needed, right? How much have we seen him, you know, kind of fall off
แม่ง
by the
แม่งเริ่ม
wayside
ชั
on
ก
this
จะแบบ
DFM squad?
ฮาวกว่าพี่แจ๊ดแล้วนะไอ้อาร์ตอะ
This stage.
Back
ตอนแรก
in
กูให้แม่ง
that,
ให้พี่แจ๊ดเขาเป็นที่หนึ่งในดวงใจกู
match
เป็นไอ
kickoff
อาร์
as
ตแล้ว
well.
วะ
Jin was one of those players who stepped up so much so that that Pearl went the way that it did.
I
So
wanna know. Why have we got Pearl as the deciding between these two when Fracture was an option?
Perhaps that's something that Bella can ask.
If we
Alex,
get there.
or Northern Lights. But still, for now, the timeout from Alex to save things, possibly.
Yeah. Well, you need to, right? Because you're at that teetering point. If this round goes DFM's way, momentum starts to shift their favor. You know, you've got a little bit of missing components in terms of abilities or shields potentially, albeit guns for PRX. And at the nth hour of this map, that's not what you want to see. I mean, this one doesn't look too good for them either, right? Light shields nearly across the board, a stinger in there for Devi, you're nowhere near, Blades back again for something. You have an null command for Patman if you start to gain favor somewhere on the map. Remove your opponent's abilities and make those duels a little bit better for you.
Also quite tricky for now.
ผมว่าถ้าราคานี้ผมว่าดูอันอื่นดีกว่า
Info gathering.
เผื่อมันขึ้นหรือเปล่าอะไรอย่างงี้ไง
default as
ไม่
DFM
ราคามันก็ส่วนมัน
would
ก็
use
มัน
a
ก็
couple
ไม่ได้
of
ขนาดนั้น
abilities at
ถ้า
some timings around this map
ที่ดี
to
กว่าผมว่า
find if mid's clear, if B's clear, if A main's clear. You've done the middle a good
นี่แข่ง
service
หรือ
at
โช
the
ว์แมต
moment,
ช์เฮ้ย
and B main as
ไอ้
well.
สัตว์
So you do start to see Arch
กู
shift
นึ
a
กว่าทัว
little
ร์
bit
ชาริตี้
towards
โช
this
ว์
A
ดาว
site, and he would be correct in doing so.
Arriving right on time. PRX, though, lacking information.
เฮ้ยอาร์ต
This is going to be a
เห็นมึง
situation
จะดึง
where
ทุก
they
ที
try to just dry go up towards this, and Patman rips the null.
เอาแล้วเอาแล้วเอาแล้วเอาแล้วอากาเมะทำไรอ่ะ
Though the salvos
อา
will
กาเมะ
stall them.
เข้าไปโม่งในควัน
And you do have Akame.
อากาเมะบ้ามากครับอากาเมะ
Double
ฮะ
kill found. And Jin shutting down Patman as
โอ้
well.
อากาเมะ
Just left down to Jing.
แล้วไปต่อครับอากาเมะไม่เคยพอ สวยอาร์ตทอนคืนครบทุกบาท
Jin though trading
ไอ้
right back. Defy now down into it 1-on-2. He's low HP again.
Yeah.
Spike might have been retrieved, but you've got huge obstacles right in front of you.
As long as the DFM members here in Mei and Jinbun just do not drop it, like, they should be winning this.
เท่งไงอาร์ตว่ะ
15 seconds. Devi slow creeps up off to the generator side, but he has to get the spike down, and that's when DFM will swing to tie up the score.
Oh, I said, you know, it's going to be one of these times in the map where PRX cannot
นี่เอา
afford
จริ
to
งครับ
kind of lose
DFM
it,
เปลี่ยนอาร์ต
right?
อะ
It's 3 in a
บอก
row
เลย
from
ทีมแม่ง
DFM
โห
to
ด
push us
โห
into
ดเลย
all rounds
ดู
of
สภาพมัน
regulation
ดิ
now for this map.
นั่งเป็นป้อม
And that dry
คิว
contact
จอยเลย
play to
เฮีย
just
มีแต่แบบ
rip the
ดาเมจ
null
ไม่มี
command
แบบ
out short.
ไม่
You
ฆ่า
do
ใคร
not
ไม่ได้
have
เลย
anybody
ดา
from
เมจนิดหน่อย
PRX
ดูดิ
clearing the
สวน
nebulas.
แบบ
They
นิดเดียว
go
ที่
in
กับบาน
dry. And we've seen such succession in Pacific these last, you know, week of
ยังต้องเก็บมาให้มึงอยู่ไหม
players dancing around
อย่า
smokes,
บอกนะ
inside smokes, really just
มัน
finding
มี
multi-kill after multi-kill.
It's happened a lot of
มัน
times
ร
now.
วยอะดิ
PRX have yet to be
มันร
aware.
วยอะดิ
And they do half buy in towards this round, so at least giving themselves the
โชว์
affordance
โชว์ให้กูเห็นหน่อย
of equipment in the next round. But
คือ
this
ด่านเนี้ย
one,
บอ
I
ม
mean,
บีมันเก่ง
gotta
ตอนที่มัน
almost
ยังไม่
win
ปรับ
this one,
ไอ้เหี้ย
right,
ปืน
as
เนี้ย
PRX to
โก
push
ง
it, 'cause DFM
จ
are
นเขาต้อง
starting to
เนิ
really
ร์ฟมัน
figure
ไอ้
out
กำแพง
how
บ
their
อมบีอะ
defensive side plays.
แล้วใครดูอ่ะเฮ้ย
Of the
โอเค
succession
โอ
that
เค
they were getting against DRX with going in for those retakes.
Spectacular on the info gathering, or even just some of these prize jack-in-a-box plays, honestly, hiding inside of corners.
ชิบหายแดนไม่ได้แล้วตายเลยซัมติงคาที่
all too easily read
ลูก
by
กับมึง
Akame. Simple
ขอ
sprays
อนุญาต
and
ขึ้น
fight
12 ก่อนเลยแล้วกัน
Salvos as well.
He dodges him.
Okay, gets across, but you still got to think about someone inside of the nebula. He pulls out the steel garden, but there's the shorty on the other end.
But the Stinger's quack, the Stinger's.
Quick trade, rifle picked up.
You want to get close, you want to kiss him.
It still is 3-on-4.
Yeah,
He
they're
did it on
trying
that
to try and
4
get the plant down as well. But the null command to come in from Akame, it's strength in numbers for DFM.
Can you really get close enough with the stinger though as well? Door shut down, Petman nearby, Forsaken holding the angle, but falters! Akame on for the 3 and the 4K! Pushed up to map point, DFM on the retake!
Kame for 4, and that's 4 in a row.
ไอ้เหี้ยเป็นมาเล็กแพ้อาร์ต
To win their own map game and get their first map
เป็นมาเล็กแพ้อาร์ตเด้ยทุกคน
victory as well. They're currently 0-4-6.
กูไม่อยากจะเชื่อ
What a way to keep themselves in contention for playoffs, but also knocking down a huge opponent in PRX.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? DFM can play spoiler
ไม่ได้
here
แพ้ DFM
to
แพ้
PRX and
อี
knock them out from
เจ็บ
getting a chance in towards the playoffs. So a timeout is going to be invested here for the last round of regulation.
Oof. can only imagine what the atmosphere is like for the side of PRX comms.
Yeah, does Alex
มีเลิฟ
have
เปเปอร์เล็กฟอร์มเวียดนาม
He was crashing out last week.
the angry tone of voice?
Vietnam,
Oh yeah, the biggest thing, you know, for me from last week when we saw the Alex cam was the why are you buying again? You know, when they
We
forced
were
up 2
like
rounds in a
both
row.
stunned when
Yeah.
we heard that.
Yeah.
But I do believe it is something that they are working on. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an instant development. It takes a while.
Yep. You've got a lot of role
So-
shifts that looking to be cemented. You've got a new player coming into the fold.
Trying to keep that consistency up. At least they're sticking to these agents for now. And
Yeah,
Devi
yeah.
has been doing a little bit better. But once again, DFM with these defenses, the way that they're hiding inside of smokes, the way that they're reading PRX's hits.
Well, I'm getting the game plan in that round for PRX, right? Getting Devi
โอ้
up
คนนี้
into
ไป
tree
เม้น
essentially,
ไอจี
ripping the
ไอจี
steel
โตโน่ไอ้
garden
เนี่ย
to then
สงสาร
play
นิชาอยาก
spoiler
เห็
with
น
the
หน้า
lesser
ชะนี
weaponry, right? Because you're removing primary weapons from DFM, you're putting them down onto pistols
Yeah,
when they might not
Liang.
necessarily have already invested in them, and you're catching them off
Liang.
guard. Yeah, great idea, didn't work. And now last round of regulation, an operator in for May, and
ขอ
Odin
เสียงคน
for
ที่
Mars. And the latter can
ไป
technically
แล้ว
be
ครับ
in
น้
the
อง
right
จริง
position here.
น้องจริง
PRX just
น้อง
sending
จริ
it
ง
into B though.
น้อง
Jing
จริง
with
ล
the
งมาน้องจริง
TP
ได้หลัง
towards
นะ
backside, something
อ้าว
that
แคนเซิลไปแล้ว
DFM had to
กู
deal
หา
with,
อยู่
so
อยู่ไหน
allows for PRX
อุ้ยเสร็จไอ้อาร์ตอย่างนี้เสร็จไอ้อาร์ต
Odin
เสร็จไอ้อาร์ต
aggressive
เสร็จไอ้อาร์ตแน่
fire.
อาร์ตเอาอาร์ต
Forsaken almost being exterminated. They're okay for now, and Petman will stick the landing.
Plant goes down, Cosmic Divide in for G, and this is going to be a scrappy battle.
Trying to play for it, the firefight on the site. Still
Ooh.
though, May in for the snappy
Ooh,
flick, and every
GG.
single player has been taken
GG.
down. Jing and Devi though,
Ooh.
still fighting,
Oh,
still
wait,
going
yeah.
for that last stand
Hold on.
to possibly push it into overtime. 1v1, and Jinbong has the haunt. Jing
Ooh,
avoids
don't.
it for now, but off to the
โอ้โดนเชิง
Avoids it
จินบงครับ
instead. Off to the 90-degree, onto the right side, and it
โอ้น้องจริง
closes
โดน
out
เชิ
the
ง
map
จิน
in
บงนะ
style.
And you're going to get Breach and Teo with the Viper. This is very common at the moment. It's a very played out style that you see a lot, but it is a little bit of a change. They used to run Viper and Raze, so they've changed up a couple of roles here.
PRX back to double duelist. Jing on the Raze, something on the Yoru. So we're seeing this flexibility come into play for PRX, but this is a style that was so historically good for them. Jing's Raze has been talked about for years at this point.
Yes.
So I think he needs to show us why.
Oh, Forsaken on the Omen as well. I haven't seen him on controller yet. You put him in the controller role. Do you have any insider info, Mika?
Hey, I'm just picking players.
The
What do
Bowman.
I know, right? What
Omen.
the Sasantoman? Right?
Okay, that's
The J Soman?
Jay Soman.
J Soman, yeah.
Terrible.
Could be.
I hate my job.
Well, before these two analysts, respected analysts, kick me out of here because they've had enough of my antics, we are about ready to step into Lotus. Is this gonna go the way that it did once before when we saw DFM face off against PRX? We'll find out as we toss it to our casters, Komodo and Quack.
Why, yes, indeed. We'll take a look at the antics on the server instead. Of course, there are some interesting role swaps as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the first time Forsaken's brought out the Omen, so adding another agent to his repertoire. We'll see how this one is going to start off. Of course, for DFM, want to recognize
สุดยอดลิทา
most recently played, but I think if we're sticking with Pacific, it's what Boom most recently played and obliterated Global Esports 13-1 on.
Yeah.
Different players piloting the agents, but
King
right
Led.
now at least toxic screen and then over
Jason.
rotations onto the C site.
เจสันโอเมน fuck อี
for now
ชอบ
still
โล
playing
ทีมนี้
safe.
ว่ะเฮ้ยอาร์ต
Yep. You're going to see
Yung
something
you are.
slot in over at Rubble. 3 players for
Hey,
PRX
yeah,
in the middle of the B site, and then just Devi over at C, who's almost just situating himself for a proper retake here. Has thorns on the back of the
เละ
site.
แล้ว
He
ไอ้
can
อะ
hope to get a little bit of chipper damage
เวอร์ชัน
through, but apart from that, it's
แพทไหนแน่เหี้ยเลสเนี่ยไม่มีใครเล่นแล้วเฮ้ย
Yeah, really quite nothing at all.
It's the timing.
Rose doesn't see anything, so yes.
ยิงดิครับ
Are
รอ
they
อะไรอ่ะ
guessing that they might be outside of A lobby at the moment? This can give DFM so much space to push through spawn.
Which would really affect
And they can adjust where they want to plant.
backside. Oh my god. DFM gets to hold. Got the smoke set up as well, so it takes more time to clear out back hall. DFM pushes into waterfall. Not expected by PRX fully. They will be able to take a shot down, but still some trades found. Devi though taking more space up now. Coming to
Ooh,
pull
Akame.
and hold. Couple of shots in, and that's Forsaken trading right back. So some shots successful for PaperX.
Yeah, DFM, it looks a little bit awkward in the duels that they want to actually try and take there, isn't it? In towards the waterfall, it feels like you've just got May getting ahead of the curve. You got a Kame then, you know, head on a swivel in which duel that he wants to try and take. Over waterfall, over spawn side. Thought DFM might actually look to get a little bit more of a commanding foothold towards the Sea Hall side of things, but instead, kind of opting not to do so.
Just being able to find a successful, maybe a confident round for PaperX could reinvigorate them for the rest of the map. This is their pick after all, but they are the ones with their backs against the ropes.
Yeah, and DFM choosing to start off on the attacking side as well, by the way.
And they are buying up with the spike plant. Okay.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for them. They are backing themselves, of course. Challenge around Mound.
And PaperX might not expect it. Of course, they were the ones forcing up last week, so never quite know.
Yep. In this sort of scenario as well, you do have a drone available for Art to start to clear things out, right?
อุ้ยแชทในกลุ่มมันเดือดจังวะ
Meanwhile,
ไหนพี่
ไอ้วอลเลนไทยแลนด์อะ
up through mid. Pillars
ไอ้เหี้ย
for DFM, waiting to bust in towards B potentially, but at that
Really?
will pop.
Yeah, May on the neon this time. A lot more movement going through. PaperX, though, happy to hover around the site. Prowlers and everything sent over. The fake out instantly dealt with as well. Watch out for the Fade utility coming over, but Akame, so far so good. We'll be able to land some shots until Davai Khan descends upon it. 2 more kills, and down to just Jinbung, who, with a Sheriff, attempts at fending off the incoming PaperX squad. Not going to happen. 2-0.
Yeah, the full force up for them as well into the B side, but it kind of feels like no one's actually establishing any control around the site. You've got disconnections from a couple of the members locked out in towards B main. The players on the side itself really not hitting any shots. You got to tap on the spike plant, but nobody from PRX bites the bullet on that one, right? They wait a few seconds before ultimately just going in together in numbers.
Numbers truly favoring PaperX for now. Certainly taking a bit of damage in the economy as well. DFM having to save.
Look, I'll lie, I kind of wanted to see how PaperX's Waylay comp on this one that they ran against DRX would have fared against DFM, but glad to see that they are also changing things up and putting Jing back on the raise as well.
Just trying to find their rhythm.
Yeah, that's it. This round, though, just the pistols for DFM. And if you're playing long quarters,
เอาแมป3
that'll pretty well placed.
แมป3นี้บูมไม่ชอบนะ
Yeah, the Southeast Asian squad will happily, play a little bit of Songkran here, but May also shooting back as well. That's quite a bit of damage if you're considering how this is playing out. As he finds the third, Forsaken will end the chaos for now. But that was still some losses to be felt.
Yeah, it makes them play with their economy a little bit more here and have to really dip and reinvest. But, I mean, you're 3-0 up. You've got a dimensional drift coming in towards this next round, so you can certainly look to see them use it for a retake if they need to, or if you really want to get aggressive of PaperX and get down and dirty in towards these duels, you can try and utilize it a little bit earlier on as well for the team to be set up.
The mechanics on the guy. He actually found the dink at the end as well.
Rubble control. 4 players for PaperX around this A site, and they'll establish dominance here. Shift immediately for DFM over towards the C site, where you've already got the gate crash from something to get out of there and assist the weaker side of the map in case DFM opted to go quite quickly.
You gotta watch for the rolling thunder that Akame has.
Stealth drone denied as well. You've got that shear wall that is in a problematic position to try and bait out as DFM. You're not running a Yoru, for example, to do that free of charge, well, at the cost of utility. And now something is getting all the information on what exactly is happening around the map.
Not too bad, but PaperX needs to rack up in the kills. They're actually getting traded. Instead, something falling to Art as well. Jing trying to hold, but Akame once more with the trade.
Yeah, but the spike, enough time to still have an idea for
Knock
DFM
out,
where
knock
they
out.
want to potentially end
Knock
this
out.
one. Vice still available, by the way, as device, so that B sheer wall is still there, which would give good information to PaperX if it does end there. So it's 50-50 essentially for DFM.
Could help, but this is still going to be a bit of a numbers game. Can Devi fend off 3 incoming invaders? He hears them. Flashes out. Will go in to spray down the first, and with the drive-by, he backpedals and takes down the as well. Steel Guard into rip.
You want guns? Okay. No. And he has to try and establish a
หวั
plan
นดิ
here as
หวัน
well.
ดิพี่ชาย
Seconds.
They can give it to them if they want to.
Sure enough, but still, Patman trying to deny. The Hunt will spot out his target, but okay, Jin trying to slip aside. Does spot them out though, but thankfully with the high-low setup, Patman will save the day. The Caped Crusader arrives.
Yeah, I mean, that's big from Divide to be able to just kind of hold mouse one and catch two of them in the spray. The second essentially on the fadeaway. PRX. Dimensional drift from something, you'll see that earlier on, provide a bunch of information and attention for the team to push up through the lobby. Yes, he gets traded on out, but it's the trade game in the beginning that kind of works out for DFM. 2 versus 3 scenario recovered for PRX as they continue this flawless run. Not getting reset on the economy either. Starting to think for ourselves as DFM, well, if you drop this here investment round that you've got light shields for and Vandals and the Phantom, are you taking a timeout?
Thinking about it, but this is a good look from PRX, and then nonetheless, their mental is not shaken. But right
อยาก
now,
ยกเหล็ก
DFM attempting to make something happen across Rubble as well. Viper wall, a drone in towards the site, and also a lot of presence around tree. PRX though maybe setting up for the retakes. You got Patman with Nightfall nearby.
Yep, and you got to remember the step up from Suggest when he played on the Vice and what was around this A site too. Remember, so this time. Divide not going to be able to really have a lot of weight with the util, but exchange of ults, Quack.
And it allows for PRX to slip in. Forsaken in with the body shots, and you got Jing for the showstopper as well. Coming out, stunned, trapped inside a tree. He just cannot get out. A majestic sweeping symphony of a round conducted by PRX.
Great tunes coming out from them in that round as well. Flawless in nature to come away with
อันติบ้ามาก
5th round on the board. DFM, I mean, needing to kind of step into the situation that I was talking about on the last map, right? Finding a player here or there was what PRX kind of were missing out on a little bit. You know, pull apart a couple of these pieces, make things easier for yourselves. If you're going into these 5v5 situations and PRX are getting an idea on where they need to rotate towards, the back of course, something being able to do so quite quickly, they can come out with some great dominance.
This time, however, it's going to be the mound play. There is a lovely haunt, but Jing somehow missing his mark as well. He was stunned up.
ขากลับไม่มีน้องจริง มีแต่ขาไป
Initiative played with Patman there, but just stunned. Jing couldn't get anything.
Oh. Intentionally tripped as he slips in.
Yeah, do you consider at this point in time that that's a bait on it,
ก็ได้
or
B
that
ก็
it's
ได้
actually
บุ
real?
กไงเนี่ยเฮ้ยได้หมดเลยทั้ง A ทั้ง B เครียดนะเนี่ย
to do so. He's got Jim here to assist him.
And if you're PRX, you just really don't have any idea. You need to push up for that information, but that's when Art will capitalize. Double kill found, Forsaken to trade right back. Salvos then from Art to hold. The spike is on the ground though.
Oh, but Patman pushing out where needed to. Art for a trade. Art on for a potential ace here. And the timing from May is gorgeous. Look at that. Slipping the net, Quack. Finding the gaps. Trying to catch PRX, who get a little bit aggressive into the B site before the spike is even established.
Not much to do.
K2 ได้เล่นอยู่
K2 เนี่ยท็อป
So that means that you know, you don't necessarily need to see a timeout from them now because they did get the round on the
4เรา
board.
ก็ยิงดีนี่เอ้าไอ้เหี้ยมัน
Will
ทำ
always be welcome.
ไอ้อาร์ตอะ
First loss on the map for PRX. It happens through a bit of a trick play with Art, the Ibaraki Ninja. Being able to slip into the site. Off being pulled out this round though by something. It does meet its mark. Jinbun getting taken down.
Yeah, now you can't really toy with the smoke screens over towards the A side of things either. So you're going to have to invest some smokes from GN if you want to try and get over here. Whoa. The A side of the map is completely open for the taking for DFM, but they're not going to be able to find that one and recognize that because they, of course, have seen, you know, the likes of Device setting up some util over here. Seen a couple of different members set up for some bait plays as well, but they'll start to piece something together a little bit.
Attempting to at least, but with the op shot from something, they're thinking twice about it as well. Of course, it could be a fake, so it depends on how DFM calls around this. Art having no true idea. The information not accurate.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the importance of 10-10 having an operator, right? Just able to lock down a line, change it up.
Side steps as well. And now it's just an attempt at a mid-round play in towards the B site. Something in with a shorty. Once again with the op as well, he will find the next player to hit. And Patman also preventing entry. PRX up to 6.
Yeah, it looks a lot more coordinated from PRX as well, right? The risks that they are taking to have some bodies over at the choke point engagements, it's not too far-fetched on how they're tackling them, especially when you've got an AWP as well, right? When that wall goes down, pretty pivotal for the shot to come out from something, and then it's just together, right? He's playing with Jing in this position, making sure that he's got trade ability, and the rest of the team is just watching the other angles that they need to as well. It's a good little micro plus macro in a bunch of those engagements.
A lot of that PRX would need a lot more of for now. Just making some presence known, but also TP away. Divide, somewhat undetected, but May will slide over. Good shot, but still the trades found by DFM, and now some space as well. Something will not quite leg a player. I thought he did. But this is then the Viper's Pit up and online. Armageddon just to create more space as well. Now Art continuing to spray off by the wayside. PRX trying to find more, but completely denied by the Phantom at the hands of Jinbong. Snakebite to burn something down as well. The second round picked up by DFM.
In thrifty fashion too, just getting in towards that C site very quickly. Divide down for the count after one, and the fact that you're able to establish a pit doesn't really give time for PRX to try and get back in there as well, right? Just trying to get in very quick. I get the idea. You don't want to allow your opponents to get set up, to go for the plant, right? You want to catch them when they might be a little bit lesser, especially when they got the lesser weaponry too. But, well, it doesn't matter in that scenario, does it?
It's great thrifty being picked up.
Gun rounds to be presented here. No operator for something this time. One away from the dimensional drift, and well, he's going for some rubble control yet again, taking a little bit of damage earlier on. Of course, the decay in effect too.
Even an attempt at taking more control. PRX onto the other side. Forsaken trying to set up something for, well, something.
Yeah, I wonder if they want to try and attack May, but he will get out of dodge. Not going to be caught by himself in an untradeable position.
Does make quite a bit of noise as he does so, though, so something getting a little bit more curious now, and he will bite the bait. May to trade right back.
Yeah, lucky that May was actually really heads up to go in for that trade quickly, because there's a world in which Art gets taken out, and that one isn't tradable onto something.
While all that happens, you got Jinbong to attempt at tripping more traps across C site.
The thing is, they can go back there now if they want to, right? They haven't spotted out the wall at C site. They spotted out just the thorns, which
just pulls more rotations over from PRX, but as they do so, PRX with the peaks, they will find their shots. Into the smoke, Forsaken trying to extend his reach. Spots out GN, and on for the Nightfall as well. The triple kill, a hat trick picked up by Forsaken.
Yeah, great shots to come out from him there. Just DFM not able to quickly realize where he'd repositioned to and get the frags. Some great duels won, right? You got the trade out there from May. The fact that Forsaken's able to find that one, though, onto May really doesn't set up anything. And then Jinbong was spotted over at C in the thorns, right? So you get the idea that the rotation will come a little bit later without the rest of the team. And Patman able to find that one. This time around, though, Quack, the timeout will come out from DFM, where I was asking a little bit earlier when they might pull it out, but they come away with the one round, and they might feel they don't need to have a little bit of a chit-chat, though this time a 2-7 scoreline. Yeah, you need to have a talk, because this could quickly bloom out into a 10-2 half, because there's only 3 rounds remaining.
Yeah, I would gather maybe Coach Northern Lights attempting to give the players some solution as to how they might deal with something and that op, but at the same time, you got to consider for so much, especially with how PRX have been wrangling for more control across the map, right? At times it's going to be rubble and mound, and that's exactly how you want to play to keep DFM on their toes.
Yeah, but they're always keeping, numbers around that B side as well. Even when the sheer wall is at the front of it, they're having these timings where they are stepping out a little bit, either together as a two-man duo, or they're putting some good Prowler timing out there, or a Haunt timing from Patman. This time you get the idea that for DFM, they'll ping some things on the radar for the folks wondering where the sheer wall has been commonly placed. So I'm wondering, is Divide going to be changing its location or not? If it's still going to be at the front of B, which it is. So there's the idea that DFM already know that going into this round now, if they want to contest with it or not. I mean, Patman's going to be there again, but to start off, you've lost GN immediately, and no trade.
Advances out from PRX. Yeah, they're not going to give DFM the chance to trade.
And something did just have to gate crash away from this A rubble control. He was really right at the choke point, looking to get spicy with it.
Thankfully, we'll get out of dodge for now, but of course, DFM still staying grouped up.
Yeah, and remember something, has the dimensional drift here to get all the information if this does shift into a retake.
Or a bit of a flash play, will find May. Clone out just to check if there are more players on towards tree as well. And it just allows for Jing to swing through with the angle being held spectacularly. PRX moves upward.
It almost looks too easy for them, doesn't it? When they go for a little bit of a just team play over at Mound, and then you're forcing DFM away into the A site where something meets them at the choke, gets the information, and then the team shifts back on over. DFM, they're not falling back. They're still wanting to go towards the alpha site, and they're just not able to really even get in. Good timing from something individually with the flash instead of, you know, falling back and playing passive.
Could even
wanting to get into the duels.
Could even be great counter usage of the timeout by Coach Alex.
Yeah, of course.
Being able to throw a wrench into DFM's plans, but we'll see how the next round shakes up. DFM once again going for rubble control. Something is nearby, and he does take a pick.
Yeah, he didn't expect May to get in front of that util. Don't know where that one's gone. Could have got out of dodge, but choosing not to this time. 4 versus 4. Will DFM decide to stay around A or not? Sheer popped, confirmed that no one's in front of it.
That does cause some question marks into the minds of PRX once again as well. So smoke bought out by Forsaken. He slips over though.
A lot for him to do as well, by the way, if they do pivot in this breakable room, which they do. So it's on Forsaken to come up with a multi-kill.
They have no idea. He hears the paranoia, he hears the spike getting planted, and he has a great opportunity. Look at the trigger discipline now. Goes for the first and in for the next burst. You got the paranoia as well as the prowler out from the other side as well. GN trying to fend off his incoming invaders, but Forsaken will continue tearing forward, just completely ripping DFM asunder.
And the thing is for Forsaken there in that moment in time, he does not overplay his hand as well, right? He spots out the planter, lets him go, wants more kills, but when he finds them, he blinds them afterwards. Lets the team get invested as well, right? A lot of time in the histories, you would see some, you know, big W gaming moments from PRX, overplaying their hands, potentially overheating. But look at how he methodically just plays around it and then has to play with the team, right? Patman as well. Good C's. They're stuck in the room. They're paranoid. There's no way DFM are getting out of that.
Exactly what you would need from the Southeast Asian squad. Next round coming up. It's a huge pop flash for a bit of rubble control. Contested though quickly. And also from the shadows instantly spotted by Jing.
Yeah, just lets him stick that in towards the dark cover and then finds the frag. May down as well, real low.
DFM trying to scuffle their way out of this one, but it's not quite going to happen easily. The overdrive is popped, but he is incredibly low. Jinbung as well spotted. The lurk completely eliminated. Something to take down another player as well. But DFM continue to brawl right back.
Dig real deep here.
Oh, Davai though traces his crosshair cross, and that's now something just to leapfrog forward. PRX for now at least. Just trying to pick more halt orbs across the map. PRX on towards Mount.
Yeah, see what Art is going to be able to do here with GN as well, if PRX want to go into the side itself, looking for the gate crash.
Quickly dealt with until the paranoia gets sent over. Clone dispersed.
No rotations from the rest of DFM though. They're okay to just let these two players kind of survive a little bit with the salvos just coming back online and used.
Trying to think about the situation, but yeah, still a chance for PRX to
rotate in towards May, who is getting very far forward now, looking for a 1, and then have the wall pop up for him to escape.
And that's that.
No wall just yet.
Backtracks into the A site, continues to jiggle. Wall still not up, so maybe the fuel not quite there, but nonetheless, May still being able to hold the site. Full push from tree by PRX, but can they take May down? It took a little bit of effort, but managed to get there in the end. Still though, with that time, DFM then gets to find some pot shots through the smoke. Akame, a double found, continues to peek out. It's a 3-on-2 with Petman finding a dink. He's still pinned down by the boxes though. For the swing out now, then something to assist his fallen teammate, but you still need to take down these two incoming tangos. Tries to reposition, does have the gate crash, but I don't know if that one's gonna help him out too much. He fakes it. DFM knows, but they still holding down the angle, will allow themselves to get isolated. Now onto the spike tap, and something goes in for the push.
He goes huge, absolutely. For PaperX there in that pistol. You had to see this round be gathered by DFM because they started to get the kills in that. They had a moment of a 3 versus 2, but it's the Red Bull clutch to come through for something, and it's a 4K at the end of it. I mean, this moment here, right? It's a 2 versus 3. You had the double on up. You thought you'd have numbers. You thought you'd have the way in which to establish a good retake there, but something is having a map. You know, a lot of the PaperX guys are having a map right now.
Just another one for the books for the PaperX squad. I mean, they've got 2 strong Yoru players, but we'll see. Early TPs away, and DFM have stacked up onto the correct site, but will they find the shots? PaperX continue forth as a firing squad. May, though, throwing off the crosshair placements. Art chiming in now as well. Takes a bit more effort from PaperX. This could go quite bad until Jink finds the wall banks to save his team. It is going to be map point.
You say May throwing off the crosshair placements. I think Jing Satchel more throwing off the crosshair placements for his teammates there. But 8 recovers in the end for PaperX to seat themselves on 10 map points to push us into a map 3, unless we have a huge universal comeback from DFM.
Possible. As a PaperX fan, I don't want to say, you know, mean things about the team, but as a professional caster, sometimes I will say PaperX, sometimes they love to shop at Forever 21, you know, to buy chokers. I see you shaking your head. Say something.
That's so bad. That is so bad. PaperX are not going to choke a 12-2 lead.
Hopefully not, as something dives straight in with the judge. May now trying to fight back, sliding in over from Hall, but still Davai with the push-up will eliminate Akame. Onto the site now with the spike attempting to get planted. May tries to deny it to them, but Art now also chiming in. The hold from DFM. What did I say? Something now, and he's only got a sheriff and a judge. Still though, able to take some shots. The Thorns, I think, took another DFM player down as well.
Certainly did. And now something, I mean, the spike is the problem here. He doesn't have the spike. Plays with the rotating door, actually, because he does have, you know, the gate crash to come on back. If May finds that, he can camp it. I think he's just heard it as well. So he could definitely camp it if something chose to use it. Otherwise, you're just playing on time, playing on the fact that he's 11 HP.
Need the sheriff shot though.
30 seconds left.
Tries to pull a fake with the gate crash, but May seems to be aware. Looks for the right angle, and there is the headshot.
Yep, as I said, just repositioning. You're playing a long game there, right? It's 11 HP that something has there. Shouldn't be losable. I was going to say, the round almost looks like it was going to be done with the situation that PaperX put themselves in.
Well, yeah.
4 versus 4 scenario, the trades start to come on out, and you're getting good establishments until there's just 2 quick kills that come in from essentially Art and Co. And the Thorns get the trade, and then the 1 versus 1 at the end. But that's the bonus round. And you're only surviving with 1 player as DFM. It has a bleed-on effect coming into this new round. 2 Guardians, 3 Light Shields in total. It's also not the most sensational buy for PaperX, I will admit, but they've got a little bit of mound control now established. Starting to pivot in towards the C site potentially quickly.
Whoa. Well, Jing, at least with the satchels, will find the Bucky kill. Down to Jien for the trade.
Good timing on the salvos from Art to at least buy time for the team to also rotate over.
Yeah, you got a full kit of utility on Akame, but still, will PaperX be able to fend them off?
Plant down.
Utility getting set up. DFM kind of knows where PaperX are hiding, and that would be closer towards stairs. So May kicking things off. Will be able to find the first hit. Davai, though, in for the double trade, but then just Jien and Akame to continue swinging out the trade protocols favoring DFM.
Yeah, Certainly is. You want to see some pass marks from DFM to hold enough weaponry as well to make sure that they can get a lot of these rounds in succession now, because all it takes for PRX is to get one round, right? They just need the one. They've got Devi with the Steel Guard and coming in towards this next round, which can put them just onto the pistols and potentially win out in a thrifty fashion, depending on the force up that PRX want to go for. But if they also want to make sure that they are closing this map out properly, you might just see them play on the side of caution for a round, right? They had the 10-2 half. They gave themselves so much cushioning that they can just go for a full round where they don't necessarily need to just over-invest.
Stack up on the ultimates, but as I say that, DFM are stacking up on ultimates of their own. Rolling Thunder and Overdrive for Mei as well as Akame.
Orb to be gathered not by Jing, so no showstopper in this round, but you put Patman one off the Nightfall. With death, that will come.
Both sides in a bit of a stalemate until the drone that is, but it is just one player, so some information for DFM. Something towards a site.
Yeah, these are the sort of strange rounds that PRX are going to try and keep DFM questioning where things may end.
Yeah, trying to slip into the A site, but quickly dealt with, dispatched by Akame. And you got Mei as well, just anchoring down B. PRX though still breaking forward. Jing in with the movement. Rifle swapped on over to the healthier player, and that is Petman. Jinbung though still swinging, and now finding Petman by the back. Forsaken slips in, but ultimately it's the spike on the ground. Jinbung has held the angle.
Forsaken, I don't think he's going to be able to get the spike here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Jin can do as well. He's getting converged upon, and that's now just down to Forsaken.
Hello.
They're holding it. He goes for the wide swing. Almost a whiff, but still collected, thankfully, by Jinbung.
Yeah, some damage in there, though, not gonna lie, right? Mei and Art down for the count. Some swinging numbers from PRX to be able to find a couple of kills in that one to still make sure that we're getting some value out of the weapons, of course. Playing with the economy little by little, but grand scheme of things, not really that much. You know, we're waiting for this rifle round to come through from PRX around the bend. And they do have a couple of those right? Your fashion one away from the Nightfall, which now you do have. You had an investment of the Rolling Thunder in that round from Akame, but you've picked up the Armageddon coming into this new one.
Up on Mei as well, and now he's holding down the sightlines into A. Jinbung spotted out by the Prowler at least.
Yeah, and a gate crash denied as well, so no pop play to come out from PRX. You're gonna think better of going towards the B site. You can spread back towards A. When you hear this drone, it's gonna spot out just one in Forsaken. But it'll cause a little bit of worry. So some rotations still to keep Mei interested around this A side. To have Akame ready still with fault line, with flashes, an early fault line, and an Armageddon investment. I don't know about that one.
Yeah, it doesn't quite hit anyone. Meanwhile, the Nightfall plus the Showstopper won't hit anything either. Jing ult! A knife found by Akame, but thankfully Devi finds the trade. Mei in with the overdrive as well, and that will expire quickly.
That is utter tomfoolery that has come out there from Akame.
Yeah, man,
can't believe it. A missed showstopper with from Jing. Let's have a knife duel. And now with 30 seconds to go, you're going into the A side where Art has snuck in towards the tree. Spotted out. No, not spotted out. Good for a kill.
โดนอาร์ตไปดิ
That allows him to anchor down the site a little bit more
ใครโดนอาร์ตแม่ง
effectively.
ซวย
He will send out the stun as well for added measure. PRX though.
ใครโดนอาร์ตแม่ง
dives
ซวย
straight in. Art with the sidestep, but
ลืมไปเล่นทำไมเนี่ย
Devi will
โอดิน
find his target.
Oh, GM.
ถือ
Jin
เข้าไป
spots
น่ะ
out by the back
มี
with
น่ะถือ
Devi
เข้าไป
for the flick. It's just Jinbung and Mei now who still line things up. The skewer found against PRX
ถือ
to
เข้าไปมีดน่ะ
keep DFM in the game.
Are there any believers yet in a comeback to come for DFM?
It is 6-12.
It is 6-12. What's the number,
But-
Quack? What's the number? 11? 10? 9? Knife?
Knife.
Strange rounds. Fun rounds.
Is it?
DFM will hold on though. PRX not able to finish things in the map just yet on the 4 in a row
Is it
that
fun,
DFM
Komodo?
have found. Oh, it's fun.
Did you enjoy that one?
I enjoyed that one. There was shenanigans afoot. Doesn't all need to be clean, readable Valorant. You know, it can be weird.
Surely crazy. Oh, they've changed their signs now. They had ones that were supporting PaperX before.
Who's the angry one? Who's the one getting yelled at? I'm sure the angry one's Alex. But well, who's yelling at?
It could be anyone.
Could be anyone at any moment.
Honest,
yeah.
Right? Oh man.
Angry Alex not needed just yet. Still a couple of good rounds for PaperX to try and close this map and push us into the third. For DFM though, yeah, it needs to be just flawless in variety, right? Just getting the rounds on the board time and time again.
At least with that round then, ultimates neutralized on both sides, so perhaps more of a chance for PaperX.
I think more ultimates wasted on both of the sides, really. An Armageddon thrown in for naught.
That's
one
way to put it.
Showstopper whiffing its way.
I was trying to be nice.
Nah, we got no niceties here.
Yeah, this is
a game.
Merciless.
This is a game of violence.
This is not just a game. This is a way of life.
Yeah. The PaperX way. The W gaming.
The Prowler now, though, it does tag May up, especially the Stinger that follows it.
Again, stalled from getting into the side itself, at least for now. And if you want to try and explode out into this one, oh, well.
Oh, and that's just a coming to hold the off angle. Jing, though, at least will be able to relay forward. May now finding a shot from the angle that he has.
15 HP.
Low HP, but still some damage. Jinbung now affording assistance from A-Link. Jing trying to push back in, but to no avail. It's just Divide, who was way too far separated.
Got to be careful with the line that he does go on, because May is holding something with the operator, but he looks away. They don't know where Divide is.
Divide could slip through. He's not quite sure where they're looking. So with the slip forward, GN will land his shots. It's DFM still hanging on by a thread, but they are surely climbing up.
And then there was 7. Trying to get in towards the site quickly. The wall as well, right, to provide a little bit of decay, but it's May. 15 HP, doesn't matter when the operator is in play. And as long as he doesn't overstep, really, you know, he's not giving PaperX away to get back into that round. So 2 surviving yet again is A-okay. You're starting to build up, you know, economy on a couple of these players, right? GN is able to afford a drop here and there. But for PaperX, Dimensional Drift in towards the B site, sniff together a bunch of information to communicate to the team. He can go real deep here if he wanted to. That's...
Oh my god.
How has he gotten away with that? It's a paranoia. It's a near sight. He has some sort of vision.
Took a little bit of time for the
Odin to wind up.
Yeah, possibly. But still, nonetheless, good pickup for PaperX, now trying to regroup themselves. DFM trying to retain control over the map, but the clone.
Yeah, they know that someone's in trait, more importantly, right?
More question marks. Jinbung, though, great timing for the Viper's pit, but has to backtrack out of there because of the Prowler.
Yeah,
he's got space.
He's got to almost give up the pit here. Paint shells will keep him at bay. He needs to get in it, but it's dirty. He doesn't exactly know, and now this flank is looked after by the Sheer.
And that allows for more PaperX players to really surround the site. Divide spots out GN, something denying entry by May. This could be it. Jinbung still keeping inside of it. Divide holding out the back line, but still, can he deal with Jin? Will be able to hit it. And off to Forsaken now. Just Akame left. 1 against 5. And he starts things off. Decent, but not quite it. PaperX finally end the map. It's 13-7, almost went downwards. But
of this group, we will wait to see, of course. Map number 2 going PaperX's way. Map number 1 over at Ascent was for DFM. Close map, we'll admit. New map here. Different look for something as well on the Jet, but for starters, Divide is going to be the first casualty. And on a map like Pearl, if you're losing your Astra first, well, you have to see the rest of the squad do something big. Jing with the Blaze Wall potentially can pivot for something for the team. Something with the single Cloud Burst, but what is the problem right now is that DFM pushing A main gets all the information that it's going to end up at B. It's still got the trademark at mid doors. You've got somebody looking at art. You know where they are.
It's just such a good read. They're in their heads, and PaperX right now, you know, unless they're able to play with this number and truly overwhelm the site, it's going to be a bit of a tough story to write.
Yeah, and as I said, playing with the Blaze Wall as well, you know, that's a way you can get in, but you haven't tripped the Sheer yet. 40
seconds as well, so at some point, something's got to give. Petman at least will try, but Akame, 2 more headhunter kills. And now possibly more as well as Forsaken moves forward, bites the dust, and it's just Petman.
And then May behind. We'll get the job done. DFM with the pistol round. Kind of on the back of Akame, getting a couple of great shots as well, right? Able to start it off. You remove your smokes player. Like, that is the one player in that scenario that feels really hard done by. They're not at the front of the pack. They're almost at the back of the pack. Why me moment?
Unlucky. Unfortunate.
Yeah, go next.
It's one of these rounds. And also just Akame. I mean, sure, maybe DFM looking a little bit up and down sometimes, but for Akame to stand up at this moment,
yeah,
truly means a lot. The outlaw now, thanks to confidence from before.
Let's see how this is going to go for the pistols of PRX. If they're going to get shredded by the sniper.
Same angle held something up by mid doors though. That's the judge. Oh,
there's the
outlaw. It's a collateral.
Another double.
Akame.
Just everything crumbling apart. It's the early part of the map, but completely dumbfounded. PRX struggle to find even a single glimmer of light in this round.
But this is what we wait for now, right? First 2 rounds, forget about it. PRX, to get on the board, you want to do so when there's a bonus available and you've got the big weaponry here to play. But I think for me, I need to see some good fundamentals early on this map, right? Like, yeah, there was a 13-1 in the previous rendition of this one where they went against each other. Different scenario, right? We've seen them improve on this map. We saw them improve against Boom. How much you read into that one when Famous is dropping near 30 kills, though, and something is really getting isolated, Jing's really getting isolated, I don't know. But that happens, right? You'll learn from your mistakes and the weaknesses and try to improve, and that's what they've been trying to do throughout the course of these 2 maps that they've already played.
มาแล้วครับไอคอนเสร็จแล้ว
Take things one step at a time.
Yeah,
and that's
going to
be
steps.
Yes.
Kame.
Taking a lot of steps. He's going to complete his fitness watch tracker right there, but also for Davai to then take him down.
10 HP to spare, but most importantly, a body available. 1 off the runner back for Jing, and there's 3 players to defend here for DFM.
Spectre's nearby as well, but still something to try to open up space. Caught out by the
ชิบหายแล้ว
back.
โดนไหมเนี่ย
Saw this on Ascent. Where DFM were hiding inside of smokes. Jing though.
เอาแล้วได้ตัวหลังเฉยอาร์ตสวยเอาแล้วใคร cover
45 seconds though. They've got time to settle.
Davai holding back line.
อ้าวโดนจี
Now Davai 10
เปเปอร์เล็กจีจี
The bonus round for DFM, and they are playing their cards right.
Yeah, for sure. Jinbug on the right angle, but he gets his head removed.
Nice
Now
little
it's a 1 versus 1. It's got to be the timing.
From Davai. Makes a step, tries to bait out the peak, and he will collect on the headshot. PRX just stumped. It's a 3-0 with the bonus round picked up by DFM.
Yeah, that's rough. Just dancing around the smokes on the side itself there for DFM. Very self-sufficient, really. You know, when you consider that it was first casualty over to the way of Akame too. You're trying to get around the site. What you can happen, Jien playing that one really nice around it. And then the late lurk from Jinbun completely unaccounted for. You need to see PRX give themselves some space. You need to see them play on the back of these prowlers, on these haunts from Patman, right? When you're playing this double duelist, specifically as a Jet and a Phoenix, you potentially even got to consider using some of the utility early to find some first space.
ดูหน่อยเว้ยนัดท้ายของชุดนี้แล้วทุกคนรีบดูไว้
Just the run it back from Jing, which could be a good
อันนี้
attempt.
อาจจะเป็นสุดท้ายของเปเปอร์เล็กแล้วครับ ดูดิ
as well. Davai will continue to try to hold and keep them invested, but also for PRX, kind of getting shut down.
ดูดิ
The rifles
ดูดิ
definitely far superior.
สุดท้ายแล้วครับ
The marksmanship from
อันนี้เป็นสุด
DFM
ท้าย
as
ของ
well.
เปเปอร์เล็กแล้ว
The
ครับ
spike dropped. Jing trying to recollect, but it's just a stinger. 1 kill found, but that is it.
Yeah, Art the casualty there as well.
สุดท้ายของเปเปอร์เล็กแล้วรีบดูครับรีบดูรีบดูรีบดูทุกคน
A good start here for DFM. You got to remember it was the 5-0 start over on Lotus for PRX that kind of made things question what was going to happen in that map, right? DFM able to answer with 1 back. No timeout seen on the back of that one. This time, however, I don't think PRX are going to fall into the trap of relying upon trying to find the next round without any coach intervention. This is going to be a scenario where you definitely
Goodbye, Alex. Goodbye.
With the team, right? You had a
ได้เวลาพักผ่อนแล้วครับอเล็ก
You knew that the weaponry would be coming in the next one, but
ไม่ต้องเหนื่อยต่อไปฮะ
you know,
อ
with
เล็ก
the idea, the game plan, and the run it back, just
มัน
absolutely
เปลี่ยนกันเยอะเกินไอ้เหี้ย
It is what it is, whether you're a fan or not. I mean, your heart certainly goes out to him, especially watching Alex in the coaching
เปลี่ยน
booth.
เยอะไป
This time alone. So needing to find some intervention, some solutions. DFM has been pushing out A main repeatedly, and I don't know if it's the composition, but PaperX haven't quite been able to break through. So really need
เชี่ย
a bit of a lifeline. Certainly they lose this, they're not completely out, but it still just really minimalizes your chances of making it to playoffs. And what was you mentioned it before.
You'd be relying on other teams to do some things and here and there and not.
That's
right?
not what you want to
เอา
have.
ใครแบนมึงอะ
I'm just wondering, like, you get into this series, there's tape on Fracture if you're expecting it to go there, sure, but you're picking Pearl with the idea that you have a complete good idea on the game plan on how you want to play this one as PaperX,
ที
right?
มอะไรระยำอ่ะ
If you're trying to get revenge in a
ban.
series, yeah, sure. Take it to them on the map. They
Oh,
13-1.
let's
You
really.
destroy them. All right, you good. But you lose? Nah.
Well, we'll see.
ประยุทธ์แบน
Off of the timeout, a wide swing, and something will
มัน
evade
น่าจะ
the
แพ้
off
แพ้
from
ที
a
ทีมัน
comic.
ก็เลยอาละวาด
At least for
ดู
now.
สวยไป
And everybody on PaperX as well, just leaving A main control that they already fought for and had numbers in.
So not a lot of information for now. I mean, they're working with what they've got, and that's knowing that there is some presence on B side.
At least they don't need to contend with any of the vice utility that's surrounding the A side there, right? But it is a little bit one-dimensional in how you're going to be tackling B because you have to go through long. If you're going for a street split, well, there's going to be numbers, there's going to be a trademark. And now with the Cosmic Divide going up from Divide, are they just going to try and force a plant on the corner of this wall?
Trying to brute force it. I don't know how it's going to work out, though. We'll see. It's going to be Jin alongside Mei. They are close by. In for a bit of a hug. The flash, though, will support PaperX for now. Jing and something taking numbers against DFM. Just Jinbung. In a blink of an eye. Hold up inside a CT, trying to mark the angle. It's just exits for now.
Much better from PaperX in that round. Maybe even going to be able to flawless it. And that they do. On the board, an idea for them. And just coordinated, right? Cosmic Divides in, go together through the wall, have a good flank, come out from Forsaken. It looks a little bit more controlled in that round from them, but we need to see that double down. We need to see that be repeated.
Still.
มาเล่นไม่
Too
ไม่
bad,
มีอั
and
พ
it
ดอก
is
มาเล่นครบ
going
เล
to
ย
keep the stats up for Alex at the very least. The coach's intervention still coming into effect. The Alex effect. But 1 to 4.
มาดูไง
PaperX definitely going to need more rounds onto this attacking half. You got some ultimates on the side of DFM now, so economy not too big of a factor. Tour de Force deployed in. PaperX begin things by scouting out A main once again. You also have Mei as the Yoru peeking out around
แข่ง
pillar.
มันไม่แข่งไม่เหมือนกัน
Something not able to find an opener. He's currently leading quite convincingly in terms of first kills in this series so far, but not able to further extend that for the moment.
Kami still undetected as
ลูก
well.
เดียวแม่งมันแรดฟอร์ดบ้าเลย
One op shot found, and PaperX considering that maybe there were some rotations pulled over.
Well, Forsaken on the lurk.
โคตรเก่งแรดฟอร์ดไอ้เหี้ย
Can he find anything? The answer is
อยาก
no.
เปิด
It's
ได้
an
ว่ะ
immediate call for a dimensional drift from Mei as well. They're going to find out that no one's home at the A side, which puts cause for concern a little bit over toward the likes of Jinbung to buy some time with the Thorns first. Get more
ครับแรด
rotation
ฟอร์ด
for the
มาเร็ว
squad,
จัด
which is really nice.
You got Mei close by
ไม่
as
ต้องรอ
well
ถึงเอ็น
now.
เกม
He's able to hold down the line, but for Jing, run it back available. Will use and abuse it. Taking down Jinbung and clearing out more space. Doesn't spot too much out though. And that's going to be spike plant for PaperX.
Going to go in for the retake though as DFM in the 4 versus 4.
Also Cosmic Divide. Something to hold the angle. Takes down GN. Great little shot being found as he repositions for possibly a second. A spray from the Odin. Somehow finding Patman. We'll see if the rest of PaperX can continue to hold down. The Cosmic Divide has expired, and now for Divide to be able to hold down the ground until something falls to Art. The Odin still an attempt until Divide shuts it down. Positions back into Hall, a comment close range. And just Jing thinks of flashing it out.
Whoa!
Kami! Tour de Force close range, no matter, no factor.
เชียร์แม่งโดนโคเดอร์ซอง
With the energy from the Red Bull just to bring it over to DFM.
How they managed to come out with a Red Bull clutch in that one. I thought PaperX were in for that round at the 4 versus 4 mark when you've got something finding an operator shot on towards GN.
น่าจะโนโขบด้วยมั้ยเนี่ยโนโขบยิงๆไปครับ
right? Like there's an advantage to settle down, but somehow Art spams through one. He gets a second one. It's this 1 versus 2. The fact that the Nebula just fades away and doesn't let Jing have an immediate trade. I mean, you cannot convincingly see that time and time again. You can't repeat that. Akame comes away with the goods, and DFM hold true on this defensive side, and now he wants an opener for the fresh round, but is forced back.
Still, though, feeling that confidence, the whole team is here to try and push out from the smokes. Jing will launch the assault, takes down more. Forsaken with a double as well, now pushes up into stairs as well as Link.
Yep. Good answer back immediately for a double apiece, and now Jin Bung for the 4.
At least we'll try into the art position, but okay. Undetected for now, but until he swings, the firing squad will still spot him.
As soon as you were spotted, you're pretty much done there, unless you just come out with a magnetic aim.
แม่งไม่หยุดจริง
really
ๆอ่ะ
wouldn't
มันหยุด
work
ไม่อยู่
the
เว้ย
trade. So PaperX, you know, maybe should be on a 4-3 scenario
Very
right
king,
now,
eh?
but no, not allowed to be 5-2. See how much more change they've got on this attacking side. A good investment of the Nightfall there. Maybe not necessary, but it kind of did force them back and scramble to try and get their guns up, which is why Forsaken is able to find some good timing on the 2 kills there. But you've not toyed with the investments too much as DFM, right? They've still got to buy here. Light shields across the board. A operator in the mix for Akame. Not going to be haunted this time, but is off put from the line. And Aiden here, the operator in play.
So somewhat aware, but at least Altorb also picked up. That's another run it back for Jing. I believe it's the third one.
Yeah, third available.
แปลงใครว่าต้องเอาไปลอง
You got a deep shear this time. Just can buy some good time, unless something wants to try and just go ahead of it. It's baited out, it buys time. Rotations for May to get over here.
เขาบอกตักกูลงไม่ได้นี่หว่า
Keeps DFM questioning at least, but you also do have repositions now.
It's good timing on the drone actually, because if it does spot out Jing, which it does, you know that that's the Phoenix, and you know that with the run it back, that might be where the eventual hit happens, but maybe he didn't see
ก็
him?
รู้ไม่ใช่หรอ
Not quite sure. Nonetheless, it's a good timed peek by Jing as he continues with his onslaught. Next player down now.
ไอ้นั่นหาไปปะวะ
Headhunter before Forsaken to prevent that from coming online.
Yeah, because of the steel garden.
คือต้องมีมันอยู่ปะวะไอ้เหี้ย
It's just going to force DFM into a save situation. PaperX, with the way that their economy's flowing, they can definitely go for a hunt if they want.
เล่นไม่ดีเลยอ่ะ
So at least for Divide, close range to jiggle, but not spotting DFM just yet. Trying to keep things in control. A good kickback round by PaperX to claim some vengeance.
Was able to get a convincing round, really, right?
And it's all with Jing as the tip of the spear.
Yeah, I mean, the timing on the Owl drone and the fallback from Art, he's not been finding some good timing for himself. He's been the casualty of first deaths. I mean, you know, at least 10 times across the first 2 maps. Now, add a couple more.
Theoretically made sense, but Jing just found himself in the right spot. So the round's coming up as well. The run it back not quite yet burnt.
เฮ้ยพี่อู๋สปินนายขาย
Yeah, the
รถ
fact that he doesn't even need to use it in that round is sensational, right? Gives you an opportunity to be able to do it
6 ล้าน
and toy with rotations as well, more importantly, because you don't necessarily need to see that used for the team to follow. It can be used as bait.
ขับยาลิสดีกว่า
That'd be a good way to look for an equalizer, but we'll see. May this time pushing up B main. We'll get spotted out by Jing once again. Akame though, Headhunter quickly pulled out. In for the finds the right click against something.
And now he can get out. He's done enough. He's done his job. It's a player advantage for DFM on this
แม่งไม่
lesser
กลับ
bar.
Unbelievable. PaperX stalled off by B long.
ขายถูก
Once again smoked up.
เอาที่ไหนมาซื้อ6 ล้าน
PaperX still wanting to try and have their play at this B site though.
ต่อให้ถูกกว่านี้ก็ไม่มีปัญญาซื้อ5 ล้านก็ได้ไอ้เหี้ย
Some utility, but still, it's not going to help them too much. The arc rose goes for the blind and Forsaken trying to clear, but what is this? The right click still connecting. The Bucky as well now. Just a Vi, and he has to beware of the smoke. Recon being sent over. It kind of informs a little bit. Still trying to sidestep in, trying to look for the shots. He
Oh,
will find the
Art,
first wall bang, but
ey.
here comes Akame.
พี่อาร์ตพี่
Simple shot through the engine block. DFM moves up to 6.
Yep, they've at least tied things up at the
โอ้
half
อาร์
now.
ตเอ้ยขอร้องอ่ะ DFM มึงอยากไปต่อปะ ตัวแรกเลยตัวแรก
May not able to gate crash out of there, but it's the lion's share done by Akame with the headhunter, the classic. That's ridiculous, by the way. But Forsaken was tagged up by the shock dart, so a good little adjustment, assist from Art as the thrifty comes through. There will be the buyer for Paper X, kind of needing to play to the strengths, play to the numbers, incentivize to use the run it back a little bit more in this sort of scenario.
Right, the rotations and the assistance from DFM
เอา
players
แล้ว
have
อาร์ต
been
เอาแล้วอาร์ต
pretty
อาร์ต
fantastic so far.
And the shear is actually going to be placed in towards mid, so they don't
That
have
one,
to play with that on the site itself. Both Thorns, though, popped up, and Jing is hunting.
With the run it back,
Oi.
we'll be able to meet Jinbuk.
Oi.
Something as well with the deep push up to heaven. Divide taking down Art. May now being spotted, but he will dispatch us
Oi.
quickly. Flashes as well. An unexpected peek into
Oi.
He finds the third!
He's doing it all. It's a 2 versus 2. Divide probably has to try and use the wall here.
ยังมีปืนอยู่ไหมเบเบเล็ก
Spike.
And there it is. Goes up for it. Gotta get that spike planted somehow. Forsaken to hold the angle. And he goes for the swing. Tries to get the spray transfer, but it's just May up to a quad. He has so much utility as well.
He's on for the ace right now. Dimensional drift, do you consider it?
เอา
Oh,
ตาย
not entirely sure. Divide to hold the angle, at least to find the burst. Thankfully, to save and bring the round up for Paper Rex.
Just not expecting Divide to push in front of the Cosmic Divide, right?
การ
Maybe
ระวัง
go
ตัว
play on
นะ
the
ครับ
more
การระวังตัว
passive side of things and use a gravity
นะครับ
well
ผม
or a
การระวั
Nova
งตัว
Pulse
นิด
to
นึง
play
นิ
on
ด
the
นึง
back
นิดนึง
of, but yeah, really heads up play from Divide to put himself in the right
นิดนึง
situation there to hear May and not give him the chance to have the first duel jumping down from heaven. That's audible.
คืออ่านว่าเขาอยู่ข้างนอก
Really
แน่
tried to give that one
ๆแบ
a
บ
good go though, didn't he?
ข้างนอกเลยไกลๆเลย
For such incredible individual plays, but at the same time, Paper Rex doubling down on the B hit, throwing DFM off by pace.
Yeah. And
คืออ่านขาด 100% อยู่นอกแน่
successful again on the very tail end of that
ถ้ามึง
one
อ่าน
from
ขนาด
Jing.
นั้นมึงไม่ต้องเข้ามาแล้วตรงนั้นนะ
But it also is some ultimates now for DFM. Paper X going in for the quick
man.
rush. It works out a treat so far. Something takes down May. Continues to push.
เฮ้ย
Where he holds
เฮ้ย
the angle
พี่แจ๊ด
again, though. Happy
โอ้
something with the spray of
เอาไอ้
his
กระ
own
บอก
as
ใหญ่
well.
นี่ไปเก็บดิ
Run it out, swaps over to the classic, but
เหี้ยหงุดหงิด
Jing
ว่ะ
will be happy to jump on top of it. Divide for the double at the end, and
Yeah.
Paper X move up 5 to 6.
Jen going for too much of a bit of a spray there and to cop a reload, which is not what you wanted
เซ็ง
to
เซ็งว่ะ
see.
เซ็งไอ้อาร์ต
But,
ชิบหายเลยอ่ะ
the fact that we start to see a couple more rounds gathered out by Paper X here, they start to bring it within control. You might assume try to get us onto the 6 to 6. These speedier rounds now, they're starting to find their footing. Who would have thought? Paper X, W Gaming, fast rounds.
อาร์ตพอแล้วอาร์ต
Sometimes you can never be
อาร์ต
sure.
พอแล้วเอ้ย
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot of self-doubt, but with a bit of therapy, sometimes that can be dealt with.
อาร์ตมึงที่โหลทุกงานเลย
Focus point on towards the likes of GN at the A sides, and Jinbung not going to let Forsaken go for a bit of a lurk.
Yeah, slow around. It's quickly snuffed out by DFM. The sprays and suppresses in towards the A side as well now.
พอกันนะสองคนเนี้ยกินบ้องกับอาร์ตอ่ะ
Like this too. If you
พ
feel
วก
that
เล่น
Paper
แบบ
X are going to get into the site,
อยู่ท้ายตลอดเลยอ่ะ เล่นสุขภาพเลยอ่ะ
go for it, right? Take it. You've got the Steel Garden. Akame asleep at the wheel. And we're going to have a Cosmic Divide that's going to hold them from getting into the A site choke. The B site, though, they could technically pivot over
However,
here.
Art is close enough to hear this audible. The Shiro being tripped as well does inform into DFM. Will
เอาแล้วเอาแล้ว
structure themselves into the hit
Right.
though. It's just Art for a
เป็น
quick
นี่
peek, takes down
ก็
something.
เล่นแวนดอลเป็น
May
นี่
as well with the flash onto the clone. Divide quickly dealt with, but Jing for the trade onto a Sheriff. 2 on 3.
They saw Jinbung use the Steel Garden at the B site, so they know he's there. It's the A site with Art, though, that you have to contend with, and he has snuck into a good spot. Jing for the 1v1, loses it, and now it's all onto the new recruit in Patman.
เล่นเป็นน่ะ
1 on 3. It's a really tough situation to play. He heard tiny step around Secret, thinks to push in towards Flower.
รอรีคอนอาร์ต
Of course,
ป่ะ
you still gotta watch out for
อย่าง
Art.
นี้ มีเวลาเยอะครับไม่ต้องรีบ
Snakes
By noon.
across,
Leave
threads
now,
the
leave now.
needle.
ต้องรีบหน่อยสวยอาร์ตรีคอนดีตาย
There's a lot more as well.
ข้ามไม่ได้ครับ
Trying
เอ้ย
to
เจ้าพับไอ้เหี้ยผี
Angled plays, but
เมื่อกี้ผีหรือเปล่า
peek out from Jinbung. It's the one taps that seal the deal. It's not in their own hands to push out from A main. They don't see anything, but they will happily collect on the alt orb.
Yeah, I mean, feels like more often than not, having a Phoenix on this map, it's push that orb and get it. It's going to be quite impactful to have the sixth man in the server
อยากเล่น
as the
ฟี
Phoenix
เวอร์
role.
แต่ฟีเวอร์ไม่มีอะไรให้เล่น
Second Jing. Also for now, though, full rotations over,
cut,
seeing
yeah.
that there was nothing outside A main. This is some footsteps that DFM
เปิด
had
ได้ออง
heard.
ดีทีวายแล้วก็ขัดคิว
Prowler going sent out R2, so you get some information.
Oh,
Jing's
no Jing,
shoulder
huh?
spotted.
Huge dink, but he will try to top himself off with the molly, but still
โอ้
going through. DFM happy to contend. for
แย่
the
แล้วครับ
fight. So
แย่แล้วครับ แย่แล้วครับ แย่แล้วครับ
pushed up. It's an unsuspecting angle being held. So still now DFM holding down by the weak side. Jing happy to tap through a quad found, and then for something to finish off the Japanese squad.
ไม่หาเลยไอ้หาตลอดเลยอาร์ตมีรีคอนอยู่เมื่อกี้เห็นอยู่
bonus round, you would expect. You don't need to see a world in which you're going to use it in this round unless things go upside down, because well, DFM probably not going to get a pistol. They want to go for the challenge. Their best bets are going to be at this site where you would expect the orb to be gathered over at A.
แกวิ่งมาเสีย
Good hold down in amongst the things from Jing there. As he said, topping himself off with the hot hands.
We'll have to see it when they are fired up.
Yep.
So hopefully this inspires even more plays. Before now, DFM off to full save. Akame though, he has been sharp so far.
Want to catch them if they go for the orb or not. Just going to keep them honest on the line though. Jing again tagged up immediately.
Good call to think about using the blaze.
Yeah, you
though.
got shock darted too.
So far, still okay. You've got teammates to assist right around the corner. DFM, however, thinking to
สวยอาร์ตรีคอนลำนี้เลยเหลือ
These
3
shot
เม็ด
darts
ต้อง
so
มี
far from
ต่ำๆอาร์ต
Art
อะ
have
เอาไปแล้ว
got homing locations on them towards the Paper X.
ไม่เป็นไรราวหน้ารีคอนบาน
Not able to find the kills, but some damage chips here and there have been pretty sensational.
Well, the damage that now needs to be found if you're on the Paper X side of things is going to be Forsaken. Inside of the smoke, he spots the boots. May, though, with the right click, could now pick up the weapon. There it is.
Yeah, but you got to grab the spike. You got to look to do more damage, look to go for a plant.
I won't discount May.
เล่นกันไม่จวดเลย
Yeah, okay. 100 HP, the Bulldog here, but in towards the side of things
อั
where
นนี้
you
คือวงอะไร
haven't really seen what's going
ว
on.
งใหญ่นี่
Of
คือวง
course,
อะไร
no shear is going to be here. Forsaken's gone.
เยี่ยวันนี้ลงเร็ว
But
เดี๋ยว
it is catered for by Jing. You've also got Divide. Oh,
Okay.
Yep.
Sure. Well, Petman is also hovering nearby, so a possible crossfire. But still, DFM push up. Akame finding some shots. Petman then coming back in once again to save the day. PaperX have equalized.
Yeah, but with 2 players surviving, it starts to look a little bit awkward for them there, right? It's the lesser weapons of DFM getting some good damage in. They able to find a couple of good ones as well. So this bonus round now going to be quite the important one for PaperX, even to potentially echo what their opponents did in the first half, right? Winning that bonus round, taking it a step further.
ไม่ซุปเปอร์ทาวน์กูจะมาวะ
Out for
ไม่
something
ขับ
on
รถ
this
ชิวๆ
defensive
เนี่ย
side. Wonder if DFM are
จับ
going to
ผู้ร้าย
expect
ซะหน่อย
this. He's been playing towards the B side more often than not.
ซุปเปอร์ทาวน์กูเป็นตำรวจนะ
Teammates are on pistols, though.
รอดูเลยบทบาท
This
ใหม่
is a huge investment.
It's a good donation.
ตำรวจ
If it's able to work.
จับ
If it is. Well, DFM
Tap
for
that
now at
Wu Yin.
least electing to head over to the B side of the map. PaperX with the stack. It's just something around A main.
Yep, I'll donate pistols into a round if we get out an operator and catch our opponents off
ป
guard.
วดดีดิ
But it's a hefty investment for
What
something
content
himself,
there?
right? He has to get a kill. He has to get out because he can get split on.
Uh,
There is a huge open gap for DFM to waltz through Art and pincer this A site. And PaperX are going to have to recognize this when they don't see anything too much out through the B side of
ไม่
things.
เดินไปไกลตีน
When the Arc Rose doesn't spot any info.
Well, DFM will recognize it as well, though, so still steering clear of A main. They go for Art instead.
Oh, this could be interesting if they do
The
continue
drone.
here.
A lot of noise.
I wonder though, if you leave May to go through and he spots the thorns but does nothing about it, actually they just got popped.
Well, buying some time and still inciting some pressure. Akame, quick on the draw. Takes down Forsaken and pistols will go down. Jing though with the
เชี่ย
run
กา
it
เมะ
back.
ขนาดนั้นเลยเหรอวะ
Ted said asserting his dominance, but it's still not quite going to happen. Do you save if you're Paper Rex? Oh, unfortunately, it's not quite going to be right there. May cuts off on the rotations. The op donated over Jinbung as
เชี่ย
well
กาเมะ
now. Just sealing the deal.
Oh, there was some timing in this round that Paper X could have come away with it. I want to give credit
กาเมะ
towards
แม่ง
that flick that
ที่
came
สุด
out.
ในชีวิต
That
ว่ะ
flick is kind of ridiculous from Akame. He is sharp with this one. Like, look at that on a Batman. That's kind of crazy. And then you've got May finding the right gap in the map as well to be able to get interested. The bonus round not going to go the way of Paper X, and the operator's going to be dropped. It's not going to be stolen though. DFM don't want to play that on this attacking side. Akame will get his own sniper in the next round, you would assume.
Well, still trying to play it out close by. Paper X once again for the A main play.
Yep, grab the orb, use the flash, deeper haunt as well, clear it a little bit deeper and force DFM to use some util of their own if they want to try and clear it or start to come together as a unit.
Something with the Stinger close range by mid doors.
ไอ้แพทเข้ามา
but this time you're going to see
ใน
Paper
ช่วง
X
เวลา
start
ที่
to
เปเปอร์เล็ก
rotate
ลำบากที่สุด
towards A, making sure they've got numbers to go for some
มันก็เลยแบบ
crossfires. You're
หนักหน่วง
eventually going to see some more utility used from Patman, and that's the timing on the Prowler. Immediately answer back by the Owl drone that you kind of want to dispatch of early, and that's something being spotted this time.
Oh.
How much stock do you put in
Bam.
what you've seen from DFM just at this art location?
Trying to work with what they know.
มีคน
Rather
เคาน์เตอ
than
ร์แฟลช
some
หรือเปล่าครับ
unknown quantity, at least now. It's not going to be a Dogecoin. It's going to be
ไอ้เหี้ยแฟลช
something
มั
more
นไม่ค่อยดี
successful.
ป่าวะ
GN
แม่งก็สแปมตรงนั้นนะ
able to invest and find the return as well. But for Paper Rex, then Davai and
ไอ้เหี้ยแม่ง
Petman
สแปมรอตรงนั้นเล
also
ย
traded
อะ
out.
I wonder if Jinbung is going to be able to hear something creeping up whatsoever, if they're going to be aware that art is now dirty territory as well.
Only going to check at least.
ไม่แฟลช
Forsaken
มัน
though
ออกมา
needs
เมื่
to
อกี้
come up huge because he's
แต่
the one
ว่า
with the Hero
มัน
Vandal
ก็
right now.
มันรู้ว่าไอจีนกำลังออกจากตรงนั้นนะอุ๊ย
He spotted Gian.
Rifles apiece.
ตาย
Stay safe and will spot out GN for now. And then here comes a crossfire. Out towards the final one. Something closes the distance and in true something fashion, the acrobatics to come out on top.
Nicely done from Something and Forsaken to get that 2 versus 3 established there. The answer to the question is no. Jinbung did not know that he was coming out through art. I thought maybe he was in a situation to be able to hear the gun swap that was there, but just not, you know, very focused on what's going on potentially. Regardless though, you think it's a situation that DFM might look to be achieving. Right? They're getting the trades out there. They're starting to progress. They've got a 3 versus 2. But just not able to close it down, unfortunately, in the end. And this one starts to teeter a little bit towards Paper X. They're 3-1 in this half so far.
โอ้
The
ลำบากขนาด
economy
นี้เลยเหรอครับ
is
เปเปอร์เล็กกับ
starting to look a little bit
DFM
worrisome for DFM as well. Light shields across the board. You got a tour de force to come in from Akame that I did speak about. However, you do have a lot of these ultimates online for DFM too.
Something. Such a precarious position. 1 batch, 2 batch, penny
เหี้ย
and
อากาเมะ
dime.
แม่งระวังตัวดีชิบหาย
And now you'll start to settle.
คือไม่เขาเรียกว่าอะไรวะไอ้มีคนมายิงโดนให้แต่อากาเมะก็แบบ ยังไม่ไว้ใจเสาใกล้ครับก็ยังระแวงอยู่ว่าจะออกมาไหม
Also to push Paper X off of their comfort positions now. Forsaken still holding in deep, but May is close by. He's looking for him. Tries to go for the tap.
Forsaken needs some help here, you would think. Shia now to be popped, so he'll confirm that nobody is in the site.
เอาแล้ว
And
อั
you've
น
got
ติ
a
เข้า
good
ไป
amount
ปุ๊บ
of
แล้ว
deep
ก็
mid
วิ่งออก
control
มา
and A main control for the rest of Paper X, but they need to get on the site itself. How much can Forsaken and Divide do here?
Let's go off with the flash as well. Tries to reposition, maybe trying to play anti-flash. Got the Cosmic
โอ้เขา
Divide
เช็ค
though,
ครับ
and
ดู
DFM
อากา
doing
เมะ
the
ดิ
due diligence. It's
เนี่ย
Divide
อากา
who
เมะ
does get gunned down as well. Paper X only with the 2
อากาเมะ
soldiers
เช็คเละเลยฮะ
marching forward up towards library.
And they did hear the shear wall just popped, by the way, so they know that there's a flank potential.
เช็คเละจริง
Save exits.
ๆ ไม่ให้เลยเขา
You're not in a
อ่าน
situation
ว่า
where
มี
you're
ทัม
going to
มิ่
be
งออก
able
มายืนตรง
to
นี้
win this
ฮะ
one as Paper X. If you can do
โอ้อากาเมะ
damage though, that's all right. Akame is kind of the only one that needed to go for it, but he's
โหด
also
จริง
picked
ๆวัน
up
นี้
a Vandal
อากา
from
เมะ
the jewels around the site too. So you kind of also want to see just all DFM members survive.
Teleport's ready.
It's a bit of a standoff right now.
Yep, pretty much.
Neither side wants to really move.
เฮ้ยรู้อีก
It's
รู้อีก
whoever's going to draw first.
Yeah, DFM has numbers. They could just push on up. Trigger finger. No, all good.
Yep. I mean, it kind of goes either way, right? Anyone loses a gun here, it's awkward for
ไอ้
them.
เหี้ยจริง
So
น็อกนะ
you
เมื่อกี้
just
ยุ่งเลยนะ
Have a soft handshake at the end there.
ดูดิแม่งท่ามัน
Soft
แล้ว
handshake for what it is. Yeah, no firm handshakes.
That was. I don't know what that was. That was
Oh,
more than a handshake. That
oh,
was
oh.
nerve-wracking.
โอ้
Gotta love a little.
Mate, you won the round.
Desk.
You lost
slam.
one player. Oh, no, you didn't. You lost
No,
a round.
you lost a round.
Yeah, you lost a round. Wrong way. You got to call a timeout, though. 8-9. PRX not able to find that one there. Something not able to find the opener. Akame good with the tour de force. Tense moments, really, right? Map 3, second half.
นี่ขนาดอาร์ตกับจินบงจับ
Playoffs
ให้นะ
contention for these teams. PRX
เก่งนะ
more
เนี่ยไอ้
importantly
ทีมเนี้ย
Also,
haven't not been in playoffs
เล่นได้
at
ไง
BCT Pacific before.
3 ต่อ
Always
5
have had presence there.
that's just a fact. Whether or not they're feeling the wrath of the fans currently, it is what it is. So needing to truly find themselves back in. A wise man once said, if you don't support them at their worst, you don't serve them at their best.
Yeah.
That's just one thing.
PRX knew that this might be a hard series coming into it though, because they are the team that said that they've been most impressed by DFM.
Yes.
Right? They reckon DFM has been the most improved.
And they were the ones that left Pearl open for the
ปัด
decisive.
ปืด
I mean, look, will that come back to haunt them later and should have gone to Fracture? Who knows?
Got pistol plays now.
Yeah, pistols for PRX, just Patman and Jing to see what the Vandals can do. How much volume do they have in this round?
อ่านไม่ออกเลย
You got to fill it up with something, right?
เพราะสิ่งที่ทำแม่ง
Try and find an advantage.
ทำให้แย่ขึ้นไปเรื่อยๆเรื่อยๆเรื่อยๆเรื่อยๆเรื่อยๆเอาไอ้นั่นยิงโดนไม่แตก
He goes in for the pop flash play, but it's a simple bait and switch.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Classic plays coming out from PRX. Jing for the double kill, Steel Garden, and they start to push.
But they're pushing really hard. Look at this control that PRX are trying to do. Pill for the guns. They've all grabbed them.
เอาดันแต่อันนี่หลุดมาแล้ว
Too
โอ้
much. Akame has slipped the net.
ดันจังหวะดันนะ
4 versus 3.
จังหวะดันนะ
Regain a little bit of this mid control as DFM. You want the spike though, and if you push in front of that shear, you would be trapped. So bait it out first.
Still close by.
อากาเมะโดนกระทืบอยู่ครับตรง
Spike
นี้
retrieved
อากา
now
เมะ
for DFM. Maybe a concerted effort to recollect back into the A site.
เอาวินาเบิลนะ
Beginning to
Triple leg.
reposition, also considering this possibility. Still though,
Reload
do they
มาเลย
expect
เสียงดัง
Akame
มา
to
เล
be
ย
that close by in secret?
มาแล้ว
Lose the heads up duel.
โอ้
They don't connect.
He's digging deep here, Akame.
Jing. He's been so good so
โอ้
far.
จี
Akame
จี
online for the ace. Even
And
though it's at 6 HP. It's
Hey, damn!
Oh, that's a heartbreaker. That's a shocker when you consider that Jing and something in the beginning of this round had the great bait and switch. All it took was the classic onto the owl drone and a flash in from May. Not expecting Jing to be holding the line.
อเล็กทุบโต๊ะแตกไปแล้ว5 ต่อ 3 ใช้อันตี
They even kind of knew
Try
that Akame was
everything.
looking to push back up into
Pair.
through art, but thought better of it. And Akame still able to survive.
โต๊ะแตกไปแล้ว
Finds all of the goods for DFM to achieve double digits first. I was about to say you need to see some good mid-round decision-making from DFM in a round such as that where they get frazzled a little bit by the beginning stages, right? They lose the spike. They lose territories of mid. The spike is almost unobtainable again because of the shear wall. There might be traps behind it. You got to stretch out around the map, but when they get the spike and Akame pushes and has some individual shots to come on out, certainly brings that one back for DFM.
That was just a final bullet from that
อ
burst.
ากาเมะเนี่ยไอ้เหี้ย
Can't believe it. Just truly.
เอ้ยอาร์ต
individual
ไม่
effort
เอา
out from Akame right now,
ไม่เอา
recognizing
อาร์ต
And I want to highlight
the map.
PRX have
กลัว
no timeouts left in this map. DFM are going to have to be the team to give them the chance to talk.
Still in with the op on something. Doesn't spot anything out towards B long. He marches up. DFM though, the haunt quickly dismissed.
Just one player shooting at it too to mask presence.
Devi then places more stars. Possible well set up, but he goes in for the angle instead. The sprays only favoring one kill. Petman now trying to hold by the backside. Lets the gate crash through.
Oh, but what can he do
fake.
here?
เอาไอ้อาร์ต
Not too much.
อาร์ตไม่มีใครเอามึงสักบาทเลยวะอาร์ต
To possibly deny the spike.
เอา
Now
อาร์ต
off the
บอก
drone,
เฮ้ย
neutralized for
แล้วพวกมึง
now,
ทิ้ง
but
กูเลยไง
let's see if DFM can hold the post plants as well. All three by a main. You've got some utility, you've got something with the op, but the flash is out May. Self-flash a little bit. Something then to hold in with the sprays.
Oh.
What is this?
เฮีย
High
ซัม
low.
ติงยิงไม่
Doesn't
โด
quite
น
work
นี่
out. It's just something now. Swaps over to the rifles and try to close in the distance. But it's a shorty on the other side. The time working against and he taps once more. Jien now by the sidelines. Something finds the shot. It's May versus
อุ้ย
something.
เมย์
Duelist v
โอ้
duelist.
เมย์โอ้
The defuse. May holds the angle.
โอ้เมย์ holy shit
2 seconds and he still
เมย์ไม่ไปเมย์
Oh,
นั่นขนาดครึ่งแล้วนะ
May had to have been
นั่นขนาด
beating
ครึ่ง
out
แล้วนะ
his
เมย์
chest in that moment in the 1 versus 1. You could see how something's trying to go around the side. He has no
โอ้โห
idea where May have repositioned
เมย์ฮะ
to, but May will stand and not be baited by the fact that it's a full defuse. And being stuck in the beginning, looking for the lurk around first, and then at the end, the cloud
เชี่ยเมย์
burst,
แม่ง
not
เอา
proficient
ว่ะ
enough to buy the time. What a round to come out from DFM at the end there. And this is where things get really, really rocky for PRX. Look at the buy that they forced themselves into in this round to keep DFM off of series points.
I hear the strain in your voice, Komodo.
Yep, paper thin.
ใครเอาปืนเฮียอะไรไม่ให้อาร์ต
Blimey,
ปะ
oh blimey, what did he know today?
Well,
ไอ้เฮียนี่แม่ง DFM แม่งเนิร์ฟตัวเองด้วยนะกูบอกให้เอาไอ้อาร์ตมาเนี่ย
really feel for
จ
the
ริงๆมัน
PRX
เก่งมากเลย
players.
นะ
Trying what they can, but still DFM cannot deny the incredible effort that has been put forth today.
I mean, they were a team that was mapless coming into this series. Is PRX's Achilles heel really DFM?
Might be. Well, something. Ooh. The shots eluding him. Akame, once again.
The team's going to go together here. Akame's
มีใครไหวอ่ะ
through
พี่เอา
that
ไหม
one
อ่ะ
gate crash you would expect to
โอ้
come
ย
help him.
นี่
What
ไง
a sharp shot from
มาละ
Forsaken.
The arc rose at hand as well. So now, thinking about Halls. It's a steel garden though, but he gets into the smoke. Close range with the classic, but the art's Odin.
Yeah, and May's already cleared the rest of the site, right? So
Yeah,
the
and
team can
Odin
go
can
in
lead.
and look to establish a bit of a plant. This
Makes
is
it
where
Odin.
Pac-Man Nightfall removes HP, removes audio.
This tag onto one player. May still trying to hold off by Halls though. This is a player who can make incredible things happen even without audio. That here comes the Odin as well. May gunned down for now. Jin Bung Nan trying to hold by the backside. It's
Oi!
the accent from Petman, but it doesn't work out.
ไอ้เหี้ยเอ้ยสองฮาปราบหมดเลย
Get on it. Can he try and do anything here?
The blaze helps. The recon though not shot down.
Ooh.
He goes for the peak. The double micro flick to save PRX. A round up now, pushed up to 9 and 11.
They do hold on. The force is
Hey, I got my
valuable for PRX, but oh my word, what is that swift allocation from one to another? The Red Bull clutch to come through to hold on. When you see the first kill go against you, when you get the trades, when you think, the plan's down, how do we get back into it? You lose Divide there, the run it back, it doesn't work out. Jinbun trying to do what he can, but 1 and 2. All right, maybe it's not as sensational as I thought it would,
ไอ้
but
เหี้ยเขาโดน
he
ลิ
still
คอน
hits the
ด้วย
headshot
ไอ้
where the
เหี้ยอาร์
headshot
ต
is
แม่
needed.
งอาร์ตพอแล้วเฮ้ยบุกขออ่ะ
So quietly.
Yes, sir, Steve Kerr. It still is going to be
ไม่ดู
quite
แล้ว
the journey,
DFM
though.
อ่ะ
But it certainly proves that
ปวด
PRX
หัวว่ะ
can still deliver. The 3-sec on the A site now pushes into A main.
Still can't make any mistakes here though, Quack. Can't give DFM round number 12 if you
นี่คือการดู FM ครั้งแรกของกู
and you have to balance out your
และครั้ง
economy.
สุดท้าย
Oh my, you have to. So the fact that you dispatch a GN quick as that and get out of dodge is nice.
Whoa, Jinbung though, happy to go in for a look-see himself.
โอ้ปวดตายหายเลยว่ะเหี้ยไฟ
Off to Sewer, he finds the shot, looks for the burst, and he does get it as well. Tailwind's back into safety.
Hey,
The
hey,
spike
hey,อาร์ตมานี่มา
dropped,
มา
and something knows it.
Is this round done?
Oh, info.
Is this run done? Do DFM have to give PRX some breath, right? Do they have to give him a timeout here so DFM can collect their own thoughts on the back of
พูด
the
เพราะเหรอ
It's a Kame without the spike.
พูดเพราะเหรอ
Goes in for the peak, does get punished.
เฮ้ย
Devi
อ
as
เมะ
well though.
เฮ้ย กาเมบอก
Did you
กู
have
เอง
2
อาร์ตไม่ต้อง
versus 5 on your bingo board for a round such
ไม่
as
ต้อง
this? Dimensional drift and a spike picked up. You still see Forsaken on the other side of the map, but what can you spot out here on A itself? May looking for what he possibly can.
PRX trying to keep himself tucked away as well. Petman at least keeps them invested. But also the long rotations over for Forsaken. Petman gunned down. Jing in for the flash. But it's not quite enough. Still the angle.
เอาดิเบเบเลส
targets.
ไอ้มึงแพ้อาร์ตเบเบเลสแพ้อาร์ตครับ
Indonesian superstar.
ไม่ใช่อะไรเลยแพ้อาร์ต
He's been the beast before, but now the angle is not quite favoring him. The flashes as well. Shield wall trip, but no, Akame! What an incredible shot! The tour de force lands smart. DFM up to map point.
What an incredible shot! What an
อเล็ก
incredible
ทุบ
round!
ตั้ม
Fumble!
ตั้ม
PRX, that's
ตั้ม
2 versus 5.
ขอเสียงคนที่
Something. How does he get away with these 2 kills, creeping through the sewers? It's a 2 versus 5 that May
โอ้ย
and
แม่งอะไรวะเนี่ยตาเนี้ยเอ้ยไม่อยากดู
pulled
แล้ว
the rug out under your feet. That is ridiculous.
บูไม่ดูแล้ว
I've got no words.
They do. Those words. I talk about generational fumbles, Quack. That's the biggest one in this series so far.
Still though, happy to go down swinging if it comes down to it. PRX trying to put up the foothold around the A site.
At least they got rid of Akame first, right? Information though. There's more members to stave off this A site.
เฮ้ยเหี้ยกลัวเมื่อกี้กูกลัวมากเลยอันเมื่อกี้
Anti-flash, it's just the stinger. The gun's not the best, but at least a 5v4.
แม่งเอ้ยแม่งมีตังค์อีกแล้ว
For additional information as well. May avoids it.
Really slow and steady though for DFM still.
Concealing information. PRX might not know.
No one giving him an angle.
Can't get too antsy in this moment. Sidesteps Jing. Well, Devi will be able to find May with that information as well, then possibly force something to receive DFM with open arms. The shield wall still in its way. Something goes in for the first. It taps. It takes down Art. Next tap as well, and simple clicks, surgical precision, and it's a triple kill for PRX to move up to 10.
They need the next 2, Quack. Do they give themselves the affordance of it though? And I'm looking at DFM's economy here, and they might not necessarily have a full buy across the board. They might have to be playing on the half buy to give themselves the best chance possible. Some good shots. I call them good. They looked awkward from something in the beginning of that one, tracking, but it's all good. And now you see for DFM, all right, they're still holding enough cash for the next round. They'll have a dimension, a Cosmic Divide and a Steel Garden into the next rounds too. So that's actually quite intriguing on how PRX are going to play around expecting those ults to come in.
And not entirely sure. They're hearing the footsteps off towards Link though.
ไม่แล้ว
Going
กู
on a
แบบ
marathon run around the map at the moment. A
กู
big
โกรธ
old
มันจริง
round
เว้ย
that does
อัน
get
มึงดูดิ
pinged out and
กูเปิด
expected
สถิ
by
ติ
PRX.
ดูเลยอะว่าแบบ
DFM
ไอ้
looking to play with pace. They can't afford it.
เนี่ยกูนั่ง
Somewhat.
ดูอยู่เนี่ยว่ามันได้ยังไงวะเนี่ยกูนั่งดูแบบกูโกรธมากอะตอนเนี้ยคือแม่งคือที่สุดแล้วอะ
Position's gonna be. They try to hold out more defensively. It's dugout, secret, and flowers. Jing trying to hold. Currently smoked off. The Prowler to check as well, possibly looking for wall bangs. Both sides gunning in for it.
ไอ้เหี้ยเล่นเหมือนโยนเกมอะ
Huge on the possible reach.
เฮ้ย
Down May though playing inside of the smokes, and it's just Jinboom. Stinger found off by the sides.
Whoa.
He finds the right
Whoa.
as well. Low HP.
What?
Jing comes back in just to save PRX
Why?
hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a thread, literally, in this round, isn't it? He had to
Yeah.
use the runner back, because if he didn't and he died, well, the job wouldn't have been done. Jingbong would have been able to win that one out, and it would have been GG.
เชี่ยแมตช์นี้แม่งแบบ
PRX, you are out. But
แมตช์นี้แม่งแบบ
last round of regulation now, 11 to 12.
นี่เหี้ยเลยวะเนี่ย
Will we go into overtime, or will it be a 13 to 11 victory yet again for DFM?
บ้าบแกล้งขี้ขวาอีกทีนึง
First map in this one. I don't know how he even managed to find that kill on a Forsaken, man.
Just
Oh, Lord.
individual
But here we go.
performance, but yeah. Cosmic Divide, something back in with the op.
เฮ้ย
Spotted out by the drone,
Snipe,
though,
snipe,
possibly Forsaken.
I think it was destroyed enough earlier on by the killer player.
Smokes.
So it's not expected.
อย่าบอกนะอากาเมะฟิกขึ้นมากระบาลแตกอีก
Trying to conceal as much as possible. It's something versus Kame.
Meanwhile, they've got control of A main too, pushed up to the orb and now falling back. This duel is so tense at the moment. The head spotted. Akame
calls it out, but you know it's just one player.
ไอ้เหี้ยอากาเมะตายยากจริงครับ
Tunnel vision in now.
Oh, something is so tunnel vision that it works a treat, doesn't it? The blades are out as well, but there's nobody else home. DFM are all up through mid, bar one.
Shearwall will reinforce into some of these decisions as well. A Prowler to check, and Petman somewhat pinned down, but he will backtrack in.
You got to fall back towards the sides here as PRX. You know you've lost control of Art of Connector. Play on the back of what ults you have, still guarded. Divide.
Everything. So in towards these
ซีซั่น
safer
ต่อไป
positions.
เนี่
You
ย
got the stars up as well now. Timing crucial
นะครับ
for Divide, especially.
เรียน
Positions back in. Jing
เรียน
in
เชิญ
for
นะ
the
อาร์ตนะ
volley.
เรียนเชิญเลย
Just to try to stall
พอแล้ว
DFM's engine. DFM though still holding off to the other
ตาย
end. They will get met with the
เรียนเชิญ
full
เลย
flurry of bullets. Jing and Divide.
มันเป็น IGL ป้ายอาร์ตเป็นเฮียนะไม่รู้แหละพอแล้ว
Oh, we get there in the end. There was not a lot
Oh.
of space that PRX could falter with for DFM when they were on
Oh,
11,
God.
but they do manage to at least gather the last 3 rounds to
ปวด
get
หัว
us
เลย
to
เฮี
the
ย
overtime now. That stat there is an interesting one. 100% on the overtimes for DFM, but not a lot of sample size.
Fair enough. But still, though, this comes down to a bit of that mental game. The pressure surely mounting on both sides. Southeast Asia and Japan. DFM a little bit even more just because of their playoff spot.
5,000 ก็หวานอาร์ตดิรออะไรอ่ะ
Back and forth all day
ลุย
long.
เลย
Managed to string something together at the end of this.
5,000 หวานอาร์ต
Off to the attacking side. And they march up into A main.
And of those
5,000 ก็หวาน
overtimes as
อาร์ต
well,
ดิ
both of them 14-12, so we'll see if they
ขอ
can
งโปรดอยู่
stay
แล้
this aggression
ว
from PRX today.
Blaze wall, quick for the rush. DFM though,
Ow.
quick on the
Ow,
react.
ow,
as
ow,
well.
ow,
The
ow,
Yoden spam
เอ้า
something.
เอ้า
Trying to
เจอ
keep
ใคร
us
ไม่
on
เจ
the
อ
line.
เจออาร์ตมึงซวย
5v5 on this retake.
มึง
You got
ซวย
and an Odin.
But
Boy, Art.
still, with the pushes through,
Oh.
the Phantoms find their mark. Just down to the 2
เหี้ยอาร์ตแม่ง
players
ปืน
from
กดดัน
PRX.
ตัวอาร์ต
Get shot.
อาร์ตเอา
Jing, not quite
Woo!
able to make it happen. Akame in with the op, firing off at the end.
That's the defensive round found for DFM. So they'll go back on
กูรู้แล้ว
towards
เว้ย
the attacking side
มั
as
น
well
มัน
now, and we have to see
คือแสงไฟ
what
แม่งแบบ
sort of
ทำ
solution
ที่ล้ามากเลย
PRX can
ปวด
come
ตา
up
เลย
with to stave
แล้ว
them
เจอ
off.
หลายวันแล้วหลาย
You
ชั่วโม
know
ง
that
เนี่ยพอปิดแล้ว
DFM
รู้สึก
haven't
แบบ
been a team in this one to
โอ้
go
หมายกูเสน่ห์
for
อะ
that
สบายมาก
faster
อะ
pace of a round like PRX just
ไม่
delivered.
เปิดแล้วพอแล้ว
So whether or not it will be more methodical, or if they do decide to change
What?
things up going in towards
มัน
this
ส่อง
one.
หน้าแบบ
Something going to bring out an operator on this defensive side again. Going to be posting
แล้ว
back
เจอ
up
อาร์ตอีก
towards the B side
เรียก
by
ว่าสปอร์ต
himself.
ไลท์บวกกับซีนอน
Great recognition from DFM.
ตาย
Yeah, I
Some
mean,
warning
เฮ้ย
pings on the map.
แม่งมาอีกแล้ว
So, quite aware that
5,000
some
หวาน
of the-
อาร์ต
Kame has hit 30 kills for this map as well. Having a belter.
Could be able to close this out. Currently holding the angle towards Art. Meanwhile, the rest of the
แม่ง
team
เป็น
trying
คน
to
แรก
extend
ที่
as
กูโกรธ
much
เว้ยเนี่ย
space as
กูนั่ง
possible.
เปิด
Something
สถิ
though
ติแม่งรอแบบ
the op, he's
รอ
trying to
แถลง
clear as
การ
much as
ว่าแบบ
possible.
Yeah, you
มัน
gotta be
ควรที่จะ
careful
ไปได้แล้ว
you
อะ
wanna try and hold that line for.
แม่งไม่ไหวว่ะโหปวดหัวไอ้เหี้ย
Oh, you know that's a clone over at the B side. Complete fake.
วันนี้กูเรียกอาร์ตไปกี่รอบเนี่ย
You
320
don't
ฝา
want to keep on pushing though. It's going to be Akame who instead pushes into Art. More information now for PRX as Jing
เฮ้ย
arrives
แพท
to
แมน
try and
ไม่
hold
ไม่
around
เท่า
A lane.
อาร์ตหรอก
Still
มึ
gonna
ง
pop
เชื่อ
a
กูดิ
shield though if DFM want to go through Art. And there's thorns on the back of it.
Oh, Jing, the timing.
ไออาร์ตแม่งคือที่สุด
So it's not quite the trap play that
มาแล้ว
you've been
มาแล้ว
anticipating, but
โค้ง
still,
โค้งๆเอียงเอียงๆดูท่าถือดิ
progression which might
ดู
be
ท่าถือ
DFM. They've managed to make their way through. Jing in for the curveball. A tag onto Jinpung.
Smoke still available though from PRX to drop down.
Quite some information, but you do have Jin on a bit of a lurk. Now it's down to Forsaken as they all push up. Some shots found on the
Art อยู่
site.
อาร์ตอยู่นะ
Art's trying to stick the plant. Here comes Jing with the splash.
สภาพ
And GN now the final lone survivor to peek out to his demise. PRX survive for one more OT.
Not 100% on that OT yet. Already done and delivered for DFM. We will go again. Defensive rounds accumulated for both sides.
มึง
So maybe
กลับสำนักเศร้าหลินด่วนเลยนะ
a little bit quicker when they look to bust in towards the site, but not
มึงดูคร่าวๆนะตอนนี้นะ
PRX members early on enough. I feel
คร่าวๆนี่แมตช์ปัจจุบันยังไม่จบนะกำลังจะมีเพิ่มนะครับไม่ว่าผลจะออกมาทางไหนนะ
A timeout now to be invested. You get them going into the OT.
It's a DFM timeout.
It's a DFM timeout.
กำลังจะมีเพิ่มครับ
The only one that they get to use in this OT phase.
ไอ้เหี้ยนี่ก็ยิงไปเถอะเนี่ยอากาเมะเนี่ย
Has been good, but on towards the
เนี่ย
attack. That's where they
ไอ้ยี่นี่ก็ยิงไปเถอะไอ้นี่ก็เอาให้อ่ะคืนหมดอ่ะ
Going with the all in or nothing.
โอ้ยพอเออ
I'm just wondering as well, investment wise
ดูดิแม่ง
for them. Are they
แม่ง
wanting
เป็น
to
กาก
still
เล
push on
ย
towards
19% น่ะ
push
มัน
on towards
น้อยมากเว้ย
Akame op has been working out
Akame
so
everything.
far.
น้อยกว่าคนเล่นโอเปอเรเตอร์อีกไอ้เหี้ย
Oh my. What a map it has been so far, but for PaperX to truly try to prove the critics, prove the fans, everyone wrong, they're still trying to put that one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get a clean series from PaperX, it feels like.
They attempted at a rush before. We'll see what it's going to be this time. Of course, though, Akame and Art sticking to their faithful weapons.
Akame's going to be
มันหลุดมาได้ไงวะ
operator supported by the Sova util. Meanwhile, PaperX single prowler going
ถูกใจเขา
in
แหละ
close
โอ้
and something
เรียบร้อย
removes Akame.
อุ้ยมาแล้ว
Quick on the
มาแล้ว
H6, and
มา
now
แล้ว
it's Art just to
มาแล้ว
spray and spam as
เรีย
much
บ
as
ร้อย
possible. Jing, though, looking to take him out as much as
มึง
possible.
ระวังตัวหน่อยดีว่าเขามีแฟนนะอาร์ตเฮ้ยมึงยืนกลางงานก็เรียบร้อยดิ
Of course, it is Jinbung and Mei.
Oh, GG
but
ว่ะ
he's quickly been dispatched by
Oh.
Pac-Man until the collect goes through.
What
So close, but PaperX able to recover. Just Yen left.
And now they know where he is as well, so they could just really focus in him.
He's been trying to step up so far today. He had a pretty good map on before, but still now, down to the final one. It's a 1-on-3, not quite likely.
สาม
He
นัด
will
เฮ้ย
use
สาม
the
นัด
Caterpillar smokes though, but
Oh.
PaperX have him completely surrounded, picking up the first
พอ
round
แล้
in
ว
OT2.
เอา
He had 3
มันไม่
bullets
พร้อม
left
ที่
in
จะ
the
ชนะเว้ย
Phantom as
บอกตรง
well. Don't think there's a
ทีม
world in which he's going to
DFM
get
มัน
2 quick headshots in that sort of
มัน
scenario,
แบบ
but
มัน
you
ไม่
always
พร้อม
dare
อ่ะ
give him an alright. I understand
Yeah,
it when you
ถ้า
go
พี่อาร์ต
for the
ทำอย่างเงี้ย
spray through the smoke. PaperX yet again favoring this alpha site to try and get things in an advantaged state. And they do so successfully back up on top of this one. But this time, it is that attacking side that they find, right? So they just got to try and close it out on this defensive side where
ไอ้
something
เหี้ย
yet
เอ้ย
again
แล้วแม่ง
as an
ไม่หยุด
operator
เลยอ่ะ
it's in a
เฮ้ยมัน
different
เอา
position
อะไร
this time,
มั่น
not
ใจมาจาก
that
ไหน
B
วะ
side.
น่ะ
It's out through Art instead. And if you continue to jump spot this one as May, how far forward do you go out? It's too far. That's what it is.
Pick missed, and
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
trying to recover.
มึงระวังตัวหน่อยดิโอ้โหแม่งโขงไปเลยอาร์ต
Nectar, but still
ไอ้เหี้ยแล้วถ้าสนายยังอยู่อ่ะ
close by.
You're playing numbers game as PaperX. You're spotting for information, and look, that is just what Forsaken has found.
Oh my
A little bit your positions.
Oh my
around,
Art
Specifically, Jing back in towards Art to see if anyone's close enough.
โอ้โห
But it's
ใครล็อก
Batman
ให้
who
หรอ
gets pressured.
He does land the first one, but unfortunately traded still.
Oh my
DFM trying to recollect
Oh,
Akame to
Akame,
hold by mid.
อากาเมะ
Too hot
แบ
for
ก
Jing.
Unexpected push.
อากา
3
เมะ
versus
แบก
3
แบบ
now.
And this is
แบก
all
มาก
for playoffs.
What do you look to do here, though, as GN? Do you stay and go down late where Forsaken may very well keep a look at you, or do you hear the footsteps and
Holy
try
shit.
to slip the net?
He's been
Ooh.
sneaking through round after round. Forsaken now thought about it, but now his pixel has been spotted instead.
โอ้
GN
โห
snuck up
เหี้ย
from
เจสัน
behind.
เช็ค
And
ไม่
they're going to call for the rotate.
มันไม่ใช่
Over
เช็ค
towards the
ใหม่
big
เว้ย
side. Something is actually
ใคร
left
จะไปยืนอยู่ตรงนี้วะ
Attackers spawn, so
ไอ้
you're
เหี้ยเหลือ
gonna
จะ
have
เชื่อ
replant to your heart's
มี
content
คนที่ไปโฮอยู่ตรง
DFM
รูนั้นครับ
to defend that to the best of
เฮ้ย
your
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Not
ทำอะไร
much
กันอะ
until left.
เมื่อกี้คืออะไรอ่ะ มันเดินติดกันเว้ย
So paranoid that there might be a member
มัน
here.
ติดไอ
As
อา
he
ร์ต
shows up and finds his mark at the right time, this could be it for PaperX. The tailwind will expire. Divine now catching up.
เฮ้ย
to
เฮ้ย
his
เฮ้ยเฮ้ย
brother.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
It's an Odin. It's
สวย
something. We'll start things off with the headshot.
กูต่อยแม่งแน่เชื่อ
Fires as well. The post plant's being held though. Microflick's not quite there. Akame then to play around the smokes. Defy will land the shot.
They know where Jin
Just
is.
Jin, 1-on-2. He puts off the star. Now tries to play in with the gravity well. He's pulling them in. Who's truly going to be the emptiness machine? In for the shorty.
โอ้แล้วไม่สแปม
Something
หน่อย
that
วะ
springs out
ไอ้เชี่ยมันโดนเกาะแตกเลยไม่สแปมวะ
will finally
Phantom.
find a win in the group stage.
What?
It ends in OT2. It's a 15-13. And they will happily move forward. A triumphant win for the Aegis. For the Aegis.
ก่อนจากกันนะครับก็ใครที่ชอบคลิปนะฝากกดไลค์นะครับกด Subscribe นะครับผมก็จะได้เป็นกำลังใจในการทำคลิปต่อๆไปนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ